Hello, everyone. What is going on? The podcast still exists. My name is Timpedia. And
Yeah,
we are...
Somehow the podcast returned.
It
Despite
returned, geez, it's been over 40 days since we did a podcast.
it's been 1 week since
It's been
Good
down.
Lord.
But who else is on this podcast that no one remembers? On my right.
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left.
Return of the big titty anime expert, Tyler.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Hey, yo.
We have a lot of stuff to cover, so we're going to start blowing through the news real quick and try. If we have to, we'll chop off some watched and played stuff. But there is a lot of things that have happened in this month of June that we're ending right now.
Here.
Huh?
E3 was crazy this year.
E3
really,
was crazy.
Fake 3 was really crazy. But we do have some news that came up before E3. I even by default called it E3. So a couple things from right after the last podcast. This has kind of evolved into more of a story over time, but Destiny 2, famed thing that Bungie has put all their eggs in the basket of since
all their baskets and the eggs.
Baskets in the eggs. They crushed all the eggs with this basket of Destiny 2. Yeah, Destiny 2 is on life support now. There's no new content, no nothing. And this announcement from a couple weeks ago has led to layoffs, of course, being announced at Bungie now. Big shock. Marathon's not exactly picking up the slack. So, yeah, they laid off all the Destiny people and a bunch of the Marathon people. So who knows how much longer Bungie is going to exist as a company at this point.
Yay, we love this, don't we, guys?
We're going to talk about a lot of studio closures and layoffs.
Yeah, and I really hope that Microsoft doesn't close a bunch of the studios that they bought in the last 5 years.
It would be, it'd be really crazy. Hear me out.
Closed Activision.
I don't think this would ever happen. If Microsoft showed off during their E3 a bunch of games, and then within a few days it came out that those studios were being closed. That'd be crazy, though.
That'd be pretty wild, wouldn't it?
But anyway, it is sad to see that Bungie's going away. Probably. Never mind that Sony, when they made that deal to buy Bungie, what was it? Wasn't it some insane number, Tyler, that they bought Bungie for?
Bungie for wasn't it? Yeah, I know it was a couple billion.
It was ludicrous money. Spoiler alert: they massively overpaid, and they didn't start Destiny 3 soon enough. And now Marathon is not doing it, so sucks. But there is one good I think this is literally the only good news on the whole list. Pretty much. Witcher 3, probably my game of the year, the year I played it back in Ohio, is getting new DLC. We don't know much about it. It's called Songs of the Past. They're comparing it to... what's it called, Tyler? What's the DLC for Toussaint called? Blood and Wine, thank you.
Blood and Wine, yeah.
So I'm crazy excited for this. I would love to get back into playing Witcher 3 with a new DLC, especially in prep for Witcher 4, which is what everyone kind of assumes this is going to be, is leading into Witcher 4.
Will I beat Blood and Wine before Songs of the Past comes out?
I mean, we don't even know anything about Songs of the Past, so it's a 50-50 toss-up, really, at this point.
Man, I almost bet you, because my wife and I were talking about...
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
It's because you can get, a few different endings before Toussaint, and, I feel like it's probably going to, railroad us into what the canon is going to be like for Witcher 4, probably.
It makes sense. I mean, the endings are pretty different from each other. So
given that this has been announced, does that mean that Witcher 4 is way further away than we think?
So that's where I was going to go to. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Witcher 4 doesn't follow too far behind this. I think realistically it's going to be like, hey, see you in 2 years in Witcher 4 or something like that. But I really hope it's like, see you in a year. because I think we've all talked about many times on this podcast, and we don't even have like the new season of Avatar on this list, or like all the shows that keep getting canceled because seasons take too long to put out. Like I know we didn't even talk about the Game of Thrones show. Oh my God, House of the Dragon. Val and I haven't picked it up because it's been forever. But all I was gonna say,
House of the Red Dragger.
All I mean is like everything takes so long to come out these days. I wonder if CD Projekt Red would actually make the, I think, good play of saying Witcher 3's DLC comes out. See you all in a year when Witcher 4 comes out. I think that would make a lot of sense, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen. They're probably going to be like, hey, this is the holdover for 3 more years of waiting. Because we got that first... We got the first Cyberpunk trailer how many years before it came out? 5?
Sounds about right.
We were having a lot of time for waiting, so makes sense.
And I think we got that trailer this year for Witcher 4? Or no, we first heard about it. It first got announced 2 years ago that we first saw the pendant in the snow picture? I feel like it's been at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years since we heard first announcement that it was in pre-production.
To put this into context, the first teaser trailer was in 2013 for Cyberpunk. Predates our podcast.
Then
2019 was the Keanu Reeves trailer, and then 2020 it released.
So 7 years?
Holy shit, fam.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was still in college.
This trailer's 13 years old.
Crazy.
Dude, I'll never forget. It's crazy. I don't think I've been hyped for a game and so disillusioned for every other game to come after it, though.
Yeah.
I remember I was at, who was it? I think Leslie's house when we saw like the ad for it, where it was like Keanu Reeves is in Cyberpunk. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
What do you
mean? I'm not
Keanu Reeves is in Cyberpunk.
The game that made me stop getting excited over video games is not Hawaii, was Kingdom Hearts 3. That was it for me, which was around the same time period. Maybe a year or two before.
Anyway, I don't want us to linger on this one, but I just wanted to, and we're talking about topics at this point. But yeah, Witcher 3 DLC, I'm really excited. Witcher 3 was a fantastic game. I probably would download it and start running around and playing it again a little bit before this DLC comes out. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm excited to see them go back to it because I mean, Witcher 3 was just such a top-down, awesome, fun time. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped. But next on the list, now we're getting into all the bad news.
Let's talk about the economy. So some of this happened before the Steam Machine reveal. Some of it happened after. We'll talk about the Steam Machine separately. But it seems like every single console manufacturer has accepted that RAM costs are too high and they can't keep eating the losses. They got to raise prices. So we already knew prior to, I don't know if we talked about the last time we were on the podcast, Sony had raised the price of the base and Pro PlayStation PS5. We were nearly pushing $1,000 on the PS5 Pro, which seemed egregious, but it's the Pro one. You don't need it. Nintendo had already alluded to a long time ago that the Switch launch price was not going to stay its price forever. They announced price increases across the board, across the globe. Steam Machine has its price reveal, which again we'll get to. And then a few days later, Xbox reveals their price reveal. And probably the most telling thing is that they've discontinued the 2 terabyte model of the Series X. And from what they said, they literally could not source SSDs for it. Not a question of it's too expensive. It's we literally could not get a manufacturer to provide us with them. So we're not releasing this anymore, which is the worst thing you want to hear. It's not that it's too expensive. There's just no parts. And then across the board, all the Xboxes are up at like $200, I think, on each model. It's not a great time to get into gaming. Oh, and then how could I forget the Steam Deck also?
It's not a great time.
It's
not a great time. It was the worst of times. That's it. That's the entire preamble to this book.
It was the worst of times.
Anyway, but all of this comes on the back of the Steam Machine pricing and release reveal. Now, when they'd first kind of teased the Steam Machine back last summer, it seemed like they were targeting $750 for what we all knew was going to be a mid-range PC. what we're getting is a barely mid-range PC for at its cheapest. So
weaker
very
than
little
a
storage, no
PS5.
controller. Yes, weaker than a PS5 for $1,000. The internet immediately goes up in arms that how could Valve rip us off with this kind of dog shit, giving us, if you legitimately wanted the one with the proper storage amount and a controller, you're paying $1,400. And I've seen content creators go both ways with this is awful. How could they fleece us like this? And everyone go, actually, if you look at the pre-built market, this is pretty much on par with most pre-builts at this performance tier, which is not a good thing. I'm not going to praise Valve for this. It blows that if you go and you release a mid-range PC and it's pricing everybody out of the market, what does it say about the PC part market?
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, right now, pre-mades are still technically cheaper than building it yourself, which historically hasn't been the case, and it's sad that that's where we're at now. But it really sucks. It means the Steam machine is most likely dead on arrival, and I really wanted to see it succeed. But whatever.
I think we're just 2 years too late for this. This needed to come out before the AI bubble, and before AI ruined the prices of every single computer item possible. I think this is just too late.
The problem is, if they, let's say hypothetically they released it last year at its normal price, it would have still had this exact same price increase because the same thing would have happened.
Yeah, but
the
what if
question
this
becomes,
had come out the same time as the first Steam Deck? What if this had been Steam Deck companion? Here's the console version, and there's the mobile version.
Well, also you can look at the Steam Deck as comparison, because now the Steam Deck itself costs as much as a base PlayStation. Everyone's saying the Steam Deck is now no longer worth purchasing. That's the overwhelming opinion on the internet. So what's happening? Yeah.
What? But
did you miss the Steam Deck price update?
I
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so the
good thing I didn't get
512 the 512 OLED, which used to be $550, is now $800, and the 1 terabyte, which was previously $650, is now $949. This happened like 2 weeks before the Steam machine was announced. Up until this point, the Steam Deck was unavailable for purchase because, again, they couldn't source any parts.
I heard that part.
So, they changed it to, this is the price that we were able to get any manufacturer to provide. It's either you purchase this or you don't buy the Steam Deck, and was Valve's stance on it. If you look at it from the concept of, we sell our products at, like, we're not PlayStation, we're not Xbox. We don't sell at a loss because we make it up on the games, even though realistically Steam does. If they sell at market value, this is the market value of the actual parts. Unfortunately, this isn't like Steam being like, "Yo, we need more money for the deck that we released 5 years ago."
Well, and that's what Valve came out and said after they got roasted for the price of the Steam machine. They went, "We are not making money on this. This is what the market is forcing us to do."
Yeah, I don't have a source for it, but I know there's a Reddit thread indicating that Sony indicated annual price increases are going to become regular on their hardware.
Yeah, I know Sony came out and said the same thing, and it's just...
Look, all I'll say is I've been experimenting with the idea about running Windows games through an Android translation layer, and realistically, I think smartphones might end up, unfortunately, becoming the way we game.
How did we get all the way back to this?
I know, I fucking hate it. Anyway, it sucks. I mean, the one thing I was looking forward to, because I have the issue that I have a computer that's getting old. I can't put Windows 11 on it. I was debating on, do I run Linux on it? And the idea about running SteamOS seemed cool. The problem is SteamOS does not yet support NVIDIA hardware. It's great on AMD. NVIDIA won't work with Valve yet on driver support. So even if I wanted to make my own deck light, I would still just have to start buying new parts. And at that point, it's like, well, what the fuck am I doing? So my media tower may end up just going full Linux if I can't figure out a way to get Windows 11 on it. Although I'm pretty sure you can just get around the chip restriction.
I mean, I'm still probably going to do it anyway because fuck Microsoft.
Yeah, I think realistically at this point, I don't really play any games that have the anti-cheat that you need to be on Windows for anymore. I think like the biggest PC game I'm still playing that isn't on any other platform is just Guild Wars 2, and there's no anti-cheat on that. So
Ooh.
Linux might be in my future, whether it's SteamOS or not. Moving on, let's talk about some of the announcements from the not E3 week where everyone had their own directs. This one, I'm trying to... So, first I'll talk about the Persona franchise. I'm pretty sure this one happened at the Xbox showcase. But we got 2 things shown up. The first one was the Persona 6 reveal trailer, which I remember the moment I saw it, I was like, no fucking way, we're getting the Persona 6 reveal trailer. This better not be like the Persona 5 reveal trailer, where they showed absolutely nothing and just put English on screen that ended up not mattering to what would happen in the final game. And lo and behold, they did the same fucking thing. There's nothing in this trailer other than that it's Persona 6, and they confirmed that the color is green. Every Persona has a color that defines the tone of it. This Persona is green. That's all we got out of this. Now, the reason we got nothing out of it is because they did the full reveal of Persona 4 Revival. They showed off what the gameplay is going to look like now, what the new engine does. They did confirm that content from Persona 4 Golden is going to be in here. So unlike with Persona 3 Reload, where they took the extra, it's almost like the third version in Pokemon kind of thing. They took that and instead of including it in this remake, they sold it later as DLC. They confirmed that with Persona 4 Revival, they're not doing that. Everything from Persona 4 Golden is in this remake. So really good on them. Glad they're doing it. They put out sales figures for today, and they're estimating that Persona 4 is going to outsell Persona 5, which seems insane, given that Persona 3 remake did not outsell Persona 5. So we'll see. Either way, I'm very excited. The game is coming out next February. In bad Persona news, this one's as of today. Netflix confirmed they're working on a live-action Persona show.
Meh.
I'm not happy about this. Nothing about this video game would translate well into a singular story with zero viewer agency. I don't know.
Bro, you're just being a fucking hater.
I don't understand. I understand when you do a show, you can adapt the plot and you generally can't adapt the gameplay. And the question is, if you're going to do a Persona show with an original plot, what the fuck are you adapting out of the franchise? People having stands? Is that it?
It's just going to be the same thing as it always is, Freeman.
Is this
Friendship
just Stranger?
is magic.
It's Stranger Things with Personas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm not happy. I'm gonna need some real convincing to be excited for this. I'm probably gonna hate watch it. I'm not happy they're doing it. And then last JRPG news, we finally got something about Kingdom Hearts 4. The game definitely, totally, really exists this time for real.
Are we sure this is a Kingdom Hearts game though?
I'm not. It's ambiguous. So
Kingdom Hearts.
To clarify,
I saw
why,
no Disney IP in it at all, bro.
To clarify why Tyler said this, so for anyone who doesn't want to hear spoilers for the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, give me 30 seconds. So Sora just vanishes at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. At this point in time, we don't know where he is. He's separated from everyone he knows. He wakes up in this world that's very much closer to the real world. We think it's just another world and it's going to be the starting zone because Sora looks different. For the first time in years, Sora has a normal shoe size. He's not wearing these size 27 clompers like he does in games 1, 2, 3, and all the spin-offs. So it very much feels like when Sora goes to a world, he changes to the world he's in. I think the first world is just meant to be this Final Fantasy, no, not 15, this Versus 13-esque pseudo-Japan World Ends With You nonsense, and then he's going to probably reunite with Donald and Goofy and go on a traditional Kingdom Hearts adventure after this point. But they've shown us so little. And one of the biggest issues they had is lore-wise, when you fight a Pure Heartless don't cast a shadow. So all the gameplay footage has none of the enemies having shadows. So everyone's like, why the fuck does this game look like ass? Because none of the characters have shadows except for Sora. Either way, we're still so far out from this game coming out. They gave us very, very basic gameplay footage. But they did confirm the game is really in existence, and now that Final Fantasy VII... Fuck, they gave a name for the third one. What is it called now?
Ow. We're gonna remember.
They confirmed this as well. It's not Rebirth. Come on, I swear to God, they gave it a name. Final Fantasy VII Revelation is gonna be the name of it. How many generic movie names can you throw on this? Either way, now that one is wrapping up development, it sounds like Tetsuya has just moved on to actually starting to work on Kingdom Hearts 4, which is the same thing that happened with Final Fantasy 15. So, good on them. We'll get that sooner rather than later. But that's it for the E3 JRPG updates.
Thank goodness.
Thank God. Then we can just go to the. A lot of this is actually out of order, like.
Like when it got announced.
We can
because this is the part. The next thing is like PlayStation's.
No, this was all part of the pseudo E3.
True.
We can talk about this is the only thing that was part of that, I think, if we want to talk about the God of War thing.
Bro. There's so many things I'm not okay with just I don't know. The new God of War game got announced.
Yeah.
It's God of War La Fey, and this is a huge spoiler. Like by the title alone, it is a spoiler, because for those who are at least familiar with like the whole like beginning of the story for the God of War 2018, it's Atreus and Kratos laying wife and mother respectively to rest, right? Like they're spreading her ashes. She's dead. This game you play as her. It's a sequel. That means she's dead but not dead. She's like in some kind of like realm in between where like all the gods go, I guess. And it's weird.
And she's gonna probably hang out with lots of gods from the other games who've already died.
Do you have confidence they'll pull off the lore implications correct?
Maybe. I was super lost. Like they had some characters in the beginning, and it turned out that these characters were Egyptian, but nothing led to me thinking that they were Egyptian. I'm like, yo, am I just an ignorant Westerner or something like that? Like, do I just not understand? And I'm like, maybe a part of it is, but like, I really didn't get the vibes that they were nailing what they wanted to nail. I don't know. So I am kind of worried that they are going to botch it, but
I mean, the God of
who
War,
knows?
like the new God of War series, seems to have been such a slam dunk success overall that they seem to have earned a bit of leeway.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying no, right? I'm not saying no. My fear mostly comes from like just what I've seen. Because man, I don't know. Do you see the subtitle I put for this section and the gelatinous
cube? Yeah.
Did you guys see the trailer at all?
No, but I saw a picture of the cube.
Dude, the cube has me fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, the cube has me fucked up. People can call me a wuss all they want, I guess.
What?
But like, I don't know. Like maybe I'm being extra sensitive.
What?
About the gelatinous cube.
What is there to be sensitive about?
Man, I don't know.
How's it sensitive to think it's weird that it's a cube?
Just why is it there in the first place?
I'm sure that you'll find out.
There's a part of me. I mean, yeah, I will find out. Like, I was about to say, there's a part of me that doesn't want to fucking find out, but like.
Tyler, you know that you and your other Discord are all going to be playing day one on your PlayStations.
No, we are not playing day one. No.
It's going to be one of the only big releases on the PlayStation around that time.
So?
I don't know. You guys
that don't mean nothing. I think just like, you know what? This is almost an excellent segue because I'm like, I feel the same way about GTA 6. There's been so much hype and all this stuff about GTA 6. I'm just like, I don't care enough. Like, I really don't care enough. But people are so, like, ready to fall on the sword for Rockstar and, like,
it's so exhausting.
Do all this shit. Like, also, dude, I just don't give a shit.
You know, they know it's crazy that they're like, we don't even need to make discs and we know we'll make all the money in the world.
I mean, they're one of the only companies that are like, they can take this risk and they know that they're gonna do it, and that's why they're doing it. They're like, yeah, fuck it. We know we're gonna be able to do what we can, and no one's gonna stop us.
I mean,
so
it's wild to me that GTA. I know GTA has always been big. But, like, it's wild to me that there's this fevered pitch in the era of, like, no game is selling what people need to. We still have studio closures to talk about. Like, everybody's shutting out. Everybody's doing layoffs. And then everyone's like, get the fuck out of the way. GTA 6 is going to be, like, the biggest media launch ever.
Yup.
Like, you look at, like, Call of Duty. Call of Duty's, like, one of the biggest juggernauts in the industry, and it's underperformed year over year. Is it a question of people? That may just be a Call of Duty question versus is like the cap of gaming shrinking? Are people just not buying new games?
Yes. I think people shouldn't be buying new games.
I mean, I agree with that statement.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that necessarily.
Or,
I know
sorry,
where you're coming
I
from.
don't say they shouldn't be buying. They shouldn't be chasing the newest titles. Is how I
Sure.
feel.
I think we're just heading towards a point where, like, you know, everyone's library is gigantic. But also, I think so many people have gotten used to the idea of, like, you know, you kind of touched on it with Persona, Freeman. Atlas said they're not happy with how like how Metaphor sold. But why didn't it sell that well?
Yeah.
Because half of all Metaphor people know, why the fuck would I buy it right now when in a year you're going to come out with Metaphor Golden Winner? And like,
see, the big joke on that is that they actually didn't.
No, I know.
And they aren't going to, but everyone thought they were going to.
But that's like how many people waited and waited, and then they're like, we're not going to do it. And they're like, okay, fine, I'll buy it when it's 50% off.
Speaking of which,
I would love
Metaphor
to play...
is 50% off on the Steam sale right now, by the way, for anyone who wants to play it.
Maybe I'll grab it because I would be down. I also know Expedition 33 is still only 20% off. That's not cheap enough for me to buy it. I want to support them, but frankly,
I'm about to buy it for you, dog.
Oh my god.
That's a fucking
Yo, can we get an
banger.
LP on the channel, please? That game was fire.
I know it is, and I want to play it, but also, like, I'm so conditioned to wait for big discounts for stuff that I'm like, anyone who has a Steam account, if they're buying a game at full price more than, I don't know, 3 months after it's come out, it's kind of like, why? Like, just wait for it to go on sale then. If it's been, I can understand doing it in the early release window, but after that, it's like, just wait and buy it on sale because there's a million things on sale all the time, and there's a million backlog games.
I mean, I make the argument that if it's, sorry to cut you off, Tyler, you can go ahead.
I was just saying, like, it's because, like, I was talking to a friend about this earlier. I think a lot of companies, what they're doing is they're capitalizing on, like, the FOMO and all this hype and shit, like.
Well, but also, people are going for the quick and easy, shorter, cheaper experiences. Like, I was convinced, Tyler's probably going to laugh at this because I'm sure he knows people playing this. I was convinced to grab Mecha Chameleon last week.
Oh my god, bro!
What the hell's Mecha Chameleon? Is it the?
It's just prop hunt. It's just prop hunt.
Oh, is it the one where you're in the paintings and you're painting yourself and then play hide and seek? Okay.
It is It is the friend slop game right now.
Okay.
I played 2 hours of it. I had a bunch of fun. I'll probably play it 1 or 2 more times, and that's about it. But guess what? The game was $5. Who cares? That's fine. And they sold. I
hate you. You're the problem. Fuck you.
Okay, I didn't search it out. I was asked to buy it to play with someone. But like. I bought it. I don't feel like I wasted my money, but also they hit 10 million sales. Most AAA games don't hit 10 million sales, and this was 2 developers. Like, this is the era we live in, where some people put out games on Steam, and if you get lucky, you make it huge, and if you don't, hopefully you at least still sell a couple copies and can make a small thing on Steam by, like, self-publishing. Like, why would I ever want to wait for a big AAA game when I could just buy a small indie game every couple weeks that satisfies me for a couple weeks, and it's a little bite-sized thing?
I mean, that's you though.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of people don't agree with that mentality. People want it now. They want the experience. They want to experience it with other people, because you and I all know, like, everybody's out here spoiling literally everything.
Sure.
So it's like, well, if I'm not in it, then I'm just gonna get spoiled, and it's gonna ruin my experience.
Yeah,
I don't play many narrative games these days.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who won't go to a movies if it isn't opening night because they will just get spoiled on TikTok the next day, and it's absolutely insane to think this is real, but it's, for a lot of people, it's very common.
That's so.
If you're not there right at the start, you might as well not be there.
Like for someone like me who's like funny, and contrary to what people listening may think, I'm actually not on the internet looking for stuff all the
Same.
time, and I don't get spoiled like that. Also, I just don't give a shit. Even if I got spoiled, I kind of don't give a shit these days. Like, it is what it is. I've listened and played and experienced so many stories. Like, it kind of is what it is. And if it is my litmus for like what I consider good is if I, at least for me, like this is my own personal like thing. If it is a good thing, then I'm going to enjoy the ride regardless. But like a lot of people don't see it that way. Like I have a buddy who gets spoiled all the time in comics, and it like ruins his enjoyment of the story, and that's also super valid.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just sucks. Like just because it's easy for us to kind of say like, well, we can kind of get over it. Everybody else can kind of get fucked. Is like
No, but I think it's
I don't
something
know.
that like is I think people are gonna have to learn to adapt. Like you said, it's like we're not gonna get into an era of less spoilers. Like spoiler alert, people are still shitty on the internet, and they will still spoil things.
Yeah, well,
Like I was
then
listening to one of my
the
podcasts
other
yesterday that's like I have to play Deltarune the morning it comes out because the Deltarune crowd will spoil everything within 5 hours of Deltarune coming out.
yeah. I mean, like yeah, like that's the thing. Like, how do you combat against it other than doing what we do and just not existing?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, voting with your wallet isn't a real thing. As much as people want to say it is, you'll
Yeah,
always get outwhaled by the whales.
Yeah, it's that, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, no matter how you slice it, because like we're actually the minority, and you can't combat it. Honestly, it sucks.
You know what I think? I think one of the things that does combat it, and this is easier said than done, obviously, but like gameplay. What sets apart a video game from like a movie with spoilers and things like that? It's having good gameplay.
I would say it has having Hideo Kojima in the opening credits, but
oh, sure,
dude.
But like, yeah, that's funny. But like, it's yeah, I got spoiled on. I don't know. Even Baldur's Gate 3, you could say, has spoiled. People, I'm sure, have been spoiled all over the place. But that game has so much content and so much game to play in it that it's still worth it, even if you're spoiled. Like
Sure.
or we talked about Mecha Chameleon. You know, we were jokingly, but like that game is all those friend slop games are only based on the game being a fun time to play with friends. They don't work it like there is nothing to spoil with Mecha Chameleon. I think that's part of why it succeeds.
Yeah, but like I got my God of Wars and my Last of Us though, or people do, right? I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like people want those experiences too. Like people just want like that one experience.
Sure.
But then they get like spoiled. Right? Like GTA isn't gonna be that kind of experience, at least for the story, right? I think GTA will probably be like a standout thing. In that case, where like people like there isn't much to spoil unless people want to really invest in the story, which like I don't know, in my opinion, the story is kind of whatever. And all the GTA games, you can yell at me if you want. I don't really care.
I mean, the reason GTA 5 had the longevity was GTA Online, the multiplayer, the gameplay aspects of it. It's not, no one's out here screaming that they love the GTA 5 story and are replaying it 10 years out.
Yeah. But so I don't know. It's whatever. I'm more like about like, damn, this sucks. That's we're slowly setting the precedent towards $80 to $100 games. That's where my
also
my
true.
Like
yeah,
oh,
we didn't even talk about
face
that.
is going. That's actually why I wanted
base
to.
And 100 for collector or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. People are on about the no disc, right? And I'm like, well, that was kind of inevitable. I knew that was gonna happen.
I mean, so we've heard a lot about them wanting to deal with people who are trying to get the game early or leak it, crack it, get it on the internet. I understand not having a disc. I've seen games before where even when they have the disc, you can't play it with just the disc.
Nope.
You must download a patch to play it. And in that regard, I have to ask the question: does the disc hold any value?
Nope.
It doesn't.
It's just a physical CD.
Can I just say, as I've brought up before, plenty of times, this is going back to and this is not a pro Microsoft thing to say, but remember when we've talked about how way back when Xbox One was first coming out, and they're like, everything will be online? And everyone was
made
like,
this point earlier.
no, I know, but it's like everyone
Yep.
was like, oh, you need to be able to do things offline. GTA 6, we found the actual company that'll probably make the breaking point happen. You can't play this in a nuclear submarine. Go buy a 360. Like, you can't do it. GG. Like, what do you want? You have to go online to get GTA 6 set up. That's just how it works. And it's going to be the biggest thing ever. And, like, spoiler alert, every company's going to do the same thing. They'll be like, why the fuck am I wasting money on discs when GTA can get away with it? And even if we, as the consumer, know that that's silly, gaming executives live in their own weird bubble universe, so...
It does bug the shit out of me, though, that these companies, they'll also be like, well, we're going to eliminate discs, or we're going to cut all of these things because really we're saving you money. And it's like, well, how can we keep seeing prices go up then?
Yep.
Like, where's the money going towards for development? That kind of breeds the conversation of like, what are we getting for the dollar amount? Like, what should be what we consider the right price? And I feel like there's a huge disconnect and not clear communication between game studios and consumers.
It's pretty obvious what we're getting. We're getting shareholder value.
Shit, man, my bad.
We're getting
You're right. Yo, bro.
We're getting a sweet profit margin.
I'll put it this way, because I actually contributed to this problem way back in the year 2010 when Sony announced the PSP and the PSP Go specifically. And they were like, you don't need to buy discs, you don't need to deal with retailers. Every digital game will be cheaper. And I remember the fucking press release where they're like, digital games will be cheaper. And I said, you know what? That's great. I don't like the discs. I don't want to pay as much. I will gladly buy digital if it's cheaper than physical. And that statement has never been true.
Oops.
Yep.
In the history of these console manufacturers, it's never been cheaper to buy digital from anyone but the Steam marketplace.
Nope. And now look at that's not quite true. The Switch 2 games, I think, wasn't there a couple that have been $10
Bro, they're
cheaper?
going up, bro.
No.
I'm
not saying they're not going up, but they do have the price difference between physical and digital versions of the game.
Yes, but I'm going to make the joke because the opposite is true for Nintendo. Nintendo never, ever puts their games on sale, digital or otherwise.
Defending Nintendo.
But physical sellers will sell Nintendo games at a discount. So the only way to get a discount on Nintendo games is to buy physical.
Yeah, when someone buys it at GameStop and returns it, you'll get a $5 discount after they get $10
Best Buy
credit for it.
Sells this game cheaper in physical than Nintendo will ever make it on their eShop. They will never, ever lower the price of Mario Kart World for the history that this game will be out. They've never done it for 8. They will never do it for World.
Shitty.
So buying physical is the cheapest way to buy Nintendo games. The inverse of what we were promised. Insanity.
Speaking of all this, let's go on to a new topic because it's been 15 minutes of this.
I mean,
bro, this shit gets me so fucking heated, dog. I hate it.
Well, let's keep going with let's switch back to Microsoft. Speaking of Microsoft, let's talk about Microsoft. I'm gonna take one of the news topics off the list because we don't need to talk about Tupac being in a.
What? You don't want to talk about Tupac?
No, it's just a dumb story about AI and permissions.
Evidence that he's still alive, I'm telling you.
Microsoft.
Yo, Tupac is still alive, confirmed.
Okay, so
Confirmed.
Microsoft. Speaking of confirmed, Microsoft confirmed to still be making the wildest decisions possible. So during the E3, so we are getting close to the release of Halo Campaign Evolved. It's not Combat Evolved. It's Campaign Evolved. It's going to be even better and have new missions and everything. Microsoft told people by accident that on PlayStation, to play co-op split screen, both people had to have a PlayStation account, a Microsoft account, and an active PlayStation Plus subscription to play multiplayer together. And then they ran it back when everyone went, what the fuck? This is the stupidest thing ever. You're not even online. And they went, oh, no, sorry, we misspoke. You need an Xbox account and a PlayStation account for both players, but you don't actually need to have PlayStation Plus. And as someone on one of my podcasts said recently, man, remember when we used to just press start and play a game and set up controllers and go?
Yeah.
Like, this is nuts.
This reeks of marketing going like, hey, like what if we made them buy multiple copies of the game to play local multiplayer?
Not even multiple copies. What if Sony was like, hey, we want to get that extra revenue? Like, can we have two?
Yeah, multiple subscriptions. I mean, it's still insane.
I hate it here. Get me off this ride. Jane, stop this crazy thing.
Please. I don't even like. Tyler, are you excited at all for Halo Evolved or
Fuck no.
Okay, I didn't
I
think
don't
so.
care. I don't give a.
But Tyler, you could play 3 new missions as Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson flying around together in space and do space combat, and it's going to be so different.
I don't care. It's also, man, I don't care. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that do care or something.
Why?
Which I think is crazy.
Why
do
they care?
I don't know, because people are stupid, Tim.
Like,
people
legitimately, Master Chief Collection is literally right there.
I know, they're brain damaged.
It's
I don't know what to tell you, bro. They're brain damaged.
Look, we can talk about how rough all the 343 Halo stuff is. 1,000,000% agree. We actively played Infinite on this channel. We played 4 on this channel. Not a fan. Reach, 1, 2, 3, ODST. Literally, I would tell almost anyone who even thinks a shooter is fun, Master Chief Collection is one of the greatest things you can buy ever. I still boot up Halo and just will be like, I'm going to go play a random level from Halo 1 for no reason. All the time. You guys have probably seen it pop up on Steam every once in a while where I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just boot it up for 10 minutes and beat Pillar of Autumn again. I don't know, whatever. Like, who is this for? I don't get it. And then we're supposed to head into the remakes of 2 and 3. Like, is Halo so dead and given up that it's like, well, go back to the only good games that a different company made, I guess, and remake them again?
So I have a theory.
A game theory.
It's a game theory. It's the same thing going on with movies. Everyone is so risk averse, and you have to draw a profit that legacy IPs and remakes are the only way to convince your investors, hey, we made money with this once, we're going to do it again.
Well, you know,
I don't agree with this, but I'm saying it's just happening here.
It's funny you say that, because there are some cases of that being true right now, like Toy Story 5 and the Minions and Monsters movies. And then there's some cases of it being bullshit, like Supergirl tanking like crazy hard at the box office right now. So it's still a 50-50.
Supergirl is tanking pretty fucking hard, isn't it?
Anyway, the other thing, well, speaking of tanking, the other half of this story is Xbox, as I jokingly alluded to earlier, had their own E3 whatever we call it, the games, I don't know.
Games Festival? Or
the Jeff Keighley times.
Jeff Keighley experience.
They showed off a whole bunch of trailers for games, and it turns out a bunch of those were bullshit, because Senua, the sequel to Hellblade, Ninja Theory is being closed. Double Fine probably getting closed. State of Decay 3 studio probably getting closed. Like, Microsoft is just deleting studios and games left and right.
You mean cost centers?
Damn.
Like, you know the phrase, the air got sucked out of the room? I feel like I literally just my lungs just deflated, and I was like, I don't want to breathe right now.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to breathe right now.
It's so depressing after spending $1 trillion on it. It feels basically like Microsoft finally woke up and was like, hey, Xbox loses a lot of money and gets us fucking nothing. And everybody makes fun of us, and Game Pass isn't making us any money. They also announced that Game Pass lost millions of subscribers when they upped the price. So they're cutting the price, but you also lose access to Call of Duty. So it's like, all the people who want Call of Duty day one are just going to go back to buying Call of Duty. I guess that's why they did it. It's just 100%
why they did it.
It's just like, what is even the plan. There seems to be no plan other than cut and burn, and I genuinely don't know if we're going to see Xbox as like a thing in 5 years. They have a new Gears of War game coming out. I don't think anybody's going to give a shit. Halo campaign evolved. I genuinely don't know if anybody's going to be like, this is going to sell gangbusters. I know that I feel like a lot of the future of the Xbox brand is riding on campaign evolved. Because this is the one that's going on PlayStation. This is the one that, like, is going back to the quote-unquote good Halo. Like, there's a lot, I feel like, that's going to be riding on the success of this game, and I don't think it's going to hit that.
I mean, you mentioned that we may not see Xbox. I didn't touch on it during the pricing conversation, but there's a lot of rumors going around that the next console generation might be put on the back burner or delayed, given that we're not going to see any pricing relief till 2030.
Well, Sony said we're not going to we're going to make money on the PS6, so get ready for a $1,500 at least PS6 probably in a couple of years.
I hate it.
We're going to break 1K on the next generation of consoles, literally no question in my mind. Easy.
Oh no, I knew we were going to break 1K given the current prices before all this nonsense. I think we're going to break 1.5K on base models.
I don't know if base
I'm calling it now.
Base might be a stretch. I think it's going to be between 1,000 and 1,500.
I don't know, man. Looking at how the Steam Deck did the Steam Machine did for new hardware, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like Valve is like less willing to take a bath on it than Sony might be, especially if Xbox gets out and Sony's like, we need to get consoles out there to like keep video games alive right now that aren't Nintendo. Because if Xbox leaves, it's just Sony and Nintendo.
And Nintendo's running with mobile hardware, hence what I said earlier about the return to the smartphone.
Oh, God, I hope not. Ugh.
Can you run Game Pass on your phone?
I thought you could. I thought that was part of the point, but I can't remember for sure.
We may end up just being in the cloud gaming world. Can we get a Stadia 2 to compete with the?
Oh
the
my
Stadia
God!
2,
Stop!
fuck out of here, dog.
It's gonna come off the Google cancel projects.
Ahead of its time to kill yourself. I hate this. Ahead of it, fuck you.
One of my friends was actually like, "Well, what happens when computers are too expensive?" I'm like, honestly, you just stream from Amazon is what you're gonna do. And he couldn't grasp his head around it, but I really hope it's not the future.
Yeah, that is what's going to happen.
Where we'll own nothing and we'll be happy.
Stadia was right all along.
You will own nothing.
We don't want to own. Ugh, God. Oh, wasn't there the story also about Sony deleting 500 plus movies from people's hard drives, from people's Sony accounts?
Yeah, so this had to do with these are it's like the buy to own digital pricing model. I don't know if this extends back from the PS3 era, but basically it was they had a licensing agreement to sell these movies, and the studio that owns them was not willing to renew any of the digital licenses. So Sony no longer had the ability, and I don't think it's a case of like, oh, we can't sell, but you can still keep it. No, we don't have we can't actually license this product out because you didn't really buy it. You bought a license for us to have the file on your machine, and now that we can't legally do that anymore, we're revoking the file.
That's fucking crazy because Steam still lets you download old games if you have them.
Yes, but Steam has very different licensing agreements than they do with these
I know, but that's why I'm saying
out.
It's crazy that Sony has those licenses instead for movies. Like there was famous shit on there. Like I thought, like Terminator was on that list. I think.
Yep.
Like that's a movie people will own on their PlayStation accounts, and they're just gone now. That's fucking crazy. I know that everyone's like, oh, you know, we're talking about, you know, rent versus own, digital, blah, blah, blah. But, like, Steam is one of the few places I have confidence that, like, I will own these games as long as Steam exists. Even if they get pulled, I can still download them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Alan Wake 1, I believe, wasn't, like, Alan Wake pulled off, or some other version of Alan Wake at some point was pulled off Steam or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's back on now, but it was kicked off for a while and you could still get it. I think there's other things on my Steam library that are like kicked games, but either way, fucking crazy.
I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I'm pulling the Steam. I'm trying to remember because I remember when Rocket League went Epic Game Store exclusive, but like I remember owning it on Steam. I'm pretty sure I still have it that I can access it. but it's completely delisted otherwise.
Do we even want to talk about this next thing? I kind of just want to get into like talking about like. This is so
yeah, we can
depressing.
Pokemon Go to the polls. This one's super quick. For anyone who is even remotely surprised, Niantic it was apparently selling user location data to defense contractors.
Well, they were also
for anyone
selling
who's
mapping data, I think, because GPS systems are intentionally not as accurate as they could be. So they were using like mapping data to negate that, like everyone else does.
interesting. I know something weird, like it's super obvious if you still play Pokemon Go, because I still do. There's the concept called routes, where people can submit a route for you to walk on, and as you're walking on them, more Pokemon will spawn. So you're incentivized to walk through routes that other users have verified as a safe route to walk on. But all it's doing is people are submitting, here's a common walking path. I agree, this is a common walking path, and all players walk on the same path. So it's like they collect a lot of just walking data about people through this, and it's super obvious when you see like the names submitted. Like everyone is submitting whatever they can. This is free info that users produce, and there's no way in hell these companies aren't monetizing it. But I just wanted to say, if you were concerned about Pokemon Go selling your tracking data, I hate to break it to you, but Google was also selling it too.
Google's been doing that shit.
Yeah, like
no, step back. Everybody's been doing that
For
shit.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
But
do you
everybody-
think friggin' AI's taking the fuck off right now?
But
Like,
everybody goes, but Nintendo and Pokemon, they're my favorite. They've been with me since childhood. They would never do that.
they
my
would
friends.
never.
Nintendo is my friend. Like,
Nintendo is my friend. The corporation is my friend. They would never harm me.
but they're my Ninfrendo.
Ninfrendo.
All right, well, everybody, it's been a good day. Hope you have a good night. This is the end of the podcast.
I thought you were about to do the Reggie. Now I have to go play Animal Crossing for my Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, I should.
This is so fast.
Shut
And
up.
hey, one of these is super relevant for you, Tyler.
What?
The first one.
all the stuff that's in the Weeb shit.
Nah, Freeman fucked me up with that. I'm going to bed.
No.
I'm going the fuck to sleep. I
Tyler,
can't.
you're my best Ninfrendo. Don't do it.
You know how bad I was just like hovering over the disconnect? Like, you know what?
I was like, he's
I
gonna
can't.
do it when I say
It's
this.
time to pull the plug.
It's time to pull the plug.
Anyway, we'll keep this super short. I left out a lot of stuff in here. Like there's the Cyberpunk trailer I haven't watched yet, so I'm not gonna put it on here. But Tyler, I promise you, I'll watch it and we'll talk about it. But in terms of new shows and confirmations for stuff coming up soon, first and foremost, Witch Hat Atelier, probably one of the better shows this season, ended last week on a cliffhanger with air quotes, no sign of a season 2. But if I've ever seen a cliffhanger that doesn't really want to be one, it was this one. And in its time slot the following week, so this was yesterday, we got the confirmation that Witch Hat Season 2 will be coming. We have nothing about a date. We don't know how long it's going to be until they get around to it, but it is happening.
I also don't think it's crazy to say this was probably the best. Well, actually, no, you were watching ReZero, which is scored higher on that. So.
I mean, it was, I don't know if I'd call it better. It was still really good, but it has the Witch Hat problem that like this season of ReZero is now on, like it's not even a split core. It's just on hiatus until like middle of next season.
Again.
And then we get the next 8 episodes. It ended on a massive cliffhanger too. It was total horseshit. But I think in terms of animation quality, Witch Hat was better than ReZero. ReZero just had a really crazy plot. Which I realized I didn't even put on the watch/play, and kind of because it's been so long since I finished this. But moving on to what else got announced. So this is a franchise I really loved. Higurashi no Kaku ni, or When the Cicadas Cry. It started off as this really old visual novel on PC where it just gradually released over time, where the first couple stories are this guy moves to this town in the middle of the countryside and he hears like 20 years ago there was a protest and a bunch of people got killed. And he's like, whatever. And then as he uncovers his mystery, he just gets murdered. And then the story starts in the beginning. And it's not ReZero he remembers. It's the same story plays out, but each time it's a little bit different. And the first 6 times everyone's like, what's going on here? Like the story keeps playing out differently. The main character dies, we learn nothing. And the author's like, well, that was just the question arcs. Now I'm going to release the answer arcs, where we see the same 6 storylines from that same game play out, but from a different character's perspective, and it explains everything that happens and why they're all different. And this is one of my favorite mystery animes of the early 2000s, and it suffers from being an early 2000s anime. Now, Studio Passion went, and they had announced like maybe 3-4 years ago, like right after COVID, that they were going to be remaking the original Higurashi, which everyone's like, this is crazy. Finally, it's not going to look like ass. It'll have like modern storytelling tempo. It'll be great. Episode 1 comes out. and it straight up looks like we're getting the remake. And then episode 2 comes out, and it's like, hold the fuck up. This isn't Higurashi. What's going on? And it's an alternate timeline version.
Oh,
so they've already blown their load on the hyping up that we're going to do a Higurashi remake, because they hyped everyone up, and then as it's airing, we're like, surprise, it's not. So now for the 20th anniversary of the franchise, they put a new anime. They're making it look like a remake, and at this point, nobody gives a shit because they just baited and switched us with the last anime they made. So I don't know what they're doing with this project, but they haven't confirmed anything other than it's happening. So I'll watch it, but I'm not happy with their marketing team at all. They better be upfront about what the fuck this one is.
Narrator, they were not.
They were not at all. They were not at all.
They were not.
Now, for a studio that is being upfront about what they're doing, The One Piece, aka the One Piece remake by Studio Wit. We got our first trailer. It looks exactly like the original first story arc of One Piece if it was just animated well. And they confirmed that the release schedule is, I don't remember if it's weekly or batch, but Netflix is getting it next February. There are going to be 7 episodes total, and each episode is 43 minutes. So it's roughly the equivalent of 14 normal length episodes, but they're moving decently fast, and it seems like this is just the first, like it's the first season. They'll come back with an announcement when they're ready to do the next one, but it's not like a one and done project. So
I would fucking hope it's not. It's supposed to remake the whole thing.
I mean, I don't know if they've said with absolute certainty they're remaking the whole thing. They just said that we're remaking One Piece from the start. So
I mean, One Piece seems to be doing great with the live action, and the hype around this seems pretty high. So,
well, why?
I mean, I can tell you why. The first season of One Piece looks like anus, and it's super slow paced.
Yeah, but people are watching it.
People have been watching it. The question is, how do you keep this franchise going for another 30 years? You need people to be able to jump in during that first season and not be like, wow, this looks old. The number of people who won't watch early 2000s anime is growing.
I think also the people who won't commit to 1,100 plus episodes of anime is growing.
But then how are they going to structure this out, though? Are they just going to make this like Dragon Ball Z Kai while basically Dragon Ball Z is still happening?
Yeah.
They are.
That's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
This is bonkers.
I'll say it this way. As someone who's only read a little bit of the One Piece manga, who wants to get into it, but sees the 1,000 episodes as insane for me just to catch up with the current discourse in order to talk with people who are watching the current anime, or I could watch this show and talk about it with all the people who are just watching it for the first time now, because discourse is more important than the actual media.
Are they going to speed it up then, I guess?
Yeah, they're cutting all the filler
is there
stuff.
going to be a congruence, like a convergence?
So it's funny you bring this up. So no, but I'm going to tell a funny story about the convergence theory here. So the idea is right now One Piece, in order to maintain pacing with the manga, each episode has to only adapt a single chapter, which is why there's all these jokes about like One Piece pacing. This version does not have that restriction and will adapt as many chapters as they want to an episode.
Yep.
So it used to be 1 chapter per episode. So at this length, it would have been 2 for an episode. They're going to do like 3, 4, 5, however much they want to fit into a 45-minute episode. So a season of this will cover way more than a season did of the previous one.
Yep.
But funny story about shonen anime convergence. When I was first getting into anime, I was watching Bleach dubbed on Adult Swim. Obviously, it was way behind the sub, and my friend Ryan was watching it subtitled. Always like clowning me for being behind. Until one week, they announced Bleach, for the foreseeable future, will be doing 2 dubbed episodes every Saturday on Toonami. And I look at my buddy and I'm like, let's number crunch here. What episode does the dub catch up to the sub at 2 episodes a week? And the magic number was episode 270. Or 270 something. Which ended up not happening because after 12 weeks of doing double episodes, they went on hiatus for half a year. So that never happened, but I always remember the dub-sub convergence for Bleach.
I don't think there's going to be any kind of conversions for the animes. I think that...
No,
I mean, I don't have any skin in this game. I just think it's dumb, but it's also not for me, so who cares, I guess.
We had Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood come out relatively soon after the original ended.
That was a different adaptation, though.
Yeah, also it has a completely different story, whereas this is going to be the same story adapted slightly differently. I will say it, though, I am going to watch the One Piece. I'm going to watch the new one.
Sure.
I've always been interested in this. I've seen highlights of where the One Piece anime is currently, and it's crazy. Some of the animation's good, but I've sat down for full episodes, and it's slow as fuck, and I do not have the kind of time commitment to actually catch up on this. Maybe I could read the manga, but
I'm curious to see it compare to the live action. Because I've been enjoying the live action. I fell off season 2. I need to catch back up. But like I've been enjoying the live action One Piece, but I'm curious to see when it's like all animated.
As far as I know, the One Piece is really not that far off in terms of story.
What do you mean? Wait, when you say the One Piece, you mean the new anime that's not out yet?
Oh, sorry, no, sorry. I meant to say the live action One Piece is not that far off from the original story.
Sorry, because Freeman, there's One Piece, the anime.
I know, and then there's the One Piece.
One Piece live action, and then there's the One Piece, the new anime that's not out yet.
But then there's also the One Piece, the treasure itself, which makes this even more annoying.
I hate it here.
And I left it all in one piece. All right, that's it for the Weeb shit.
Let's blow through Watched and Played. We can do this.
So, video games, super quick. I've been working on Pokemon Crystal Legacy, a ROM hack of the original Pokemon Crystal. I lived vicariously through my brother who had a Game Boy, or who had Pokemon Gold when I was a kid. This is my first time actually playing the Gen 2 games, not the remakes. I beat the Elite Four. I'm currently going around Kanto doing the boss rush that is the gym leaders.
Ooh.
And I do remember this part being difficult for my brother because he's like, I can't raise any new Pokemon. There's nowhere to level up. And he's absolutely right. There is nowhere in this game to level up. Thankfully, this ROM hack thought about what to do about this and added like rematches for every gym leader, so you do still have trainers to fight against. So many of the convenience hacks for this game were a lot of fun. I actually am at the point where like I still haven't touched a new Pokemon game. I love the ROM hacks. I think ones that try to stay as close to the original games but just have like minor improvements are kind of the way to go. So I was very impressed with this ROM hack. Love it. Don't know if I'm going to continue the boss rush and go do the beat red at Mount Silver, but I kind of had my taste of Gen 2. It was a lot of fun. And then also still in the nostalgic RPG section, I'm about to wrap up beating Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix on PS5, but I guess it's like the PS4 Perfect Collection or something. I will say that the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 1 is as good as I remember it being. Some of the levels, like the underwater level, really suck. But I am shocked at how unsubstantial all of the Disney worlds in this game are. A lot of it's you show up, you run back and forth between 4 rooms, and you just leave. And I don't remember it being this shallow when I played it originally. I'm wondering how much of my memory of Kingdom Hearts is just Kingdom Hearts 2. Because I remember Kingdom Hearts 2 being mind-blowing when I played it. So I'm looking forward to getting to that, but I am going to take a break after Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm probably going to do Persona 3 Reload finally, and then circle back to Kingdom Hearts 2 after that. Because I had the brilliant idea to have Liz pilot the non-dungeon crawling side of Persona 3. Because I've already played the story. I don't care if we play it out differently than I did it originally.
Oh.
But gonna probably tackle that one next.
Freeman, actually, speaking of Kingdom Hearts, apparently it came out in a recent interview that the director of Expedition 33 said Kingdom Hearts 2 is the greatest RPG ever made.
Oh, I saw that thread. It got me really excited to be like, I can't wait to actually play Kingdom Hearts 2 again.
Also, Freeman, I just saw on Reddit, apparently Mob Psycho is having a small anniversary thing in theaters later this month.
Bleach is in theaters, or was in theaters yesterday, and I was debating on whether I was going to go see it or not.
Oh, you missed out on Blech.
I know. I missed seeing the first 4 episodes.
Well, you could see some random Mob Psycho stuff if you want.
Oh, man. Like, how do I... In a perfect world, I would ask them to give me just a highlight reel from season 2 in theaters.
So apparently it's 5 fan-selected episodes. So it could easily be a highlight reel of like the highlight reel of the best from Mob Psycho.
Ooh, that actually sounds fun. Not going in not knowing what the episodes are sounds really fun.
That's all you had to say.
I just saw it come up on Reddit, but I have a couple movies I'm gonna blow through really quick. One. For my son's 4th birthday, my wife and I took him to Val and I took him to see Mario Galaxy. I know it's not exactly the most high art movie, but he's 4. He had fun with it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. As much as it's a Mario movie, I actually kind of liked the first one. Had a little bit of like, I don't know, there was a little bit of story and development to it. No character changes at all in this movie. The story is like even lighter than the first one. Seeing Star Fox show up was cool. I wish I hadn't been spoiled, but seeing him was cool. Honestly, you guys will appreciate. Neither of you have seen it, right? I don't think you guys saw it.
No, I'm waiting for it to come out on digital
and
or
actually,
something.
it's coming out on Peacock later this month. I just saw.
Oh, nice.
There's a scene with Rob the robot as a teller at like a thing, and he's turning to point at something, and he goes, "It's right over there," and it's like one of those jokes where he just lingers for a long time and everyone gets upset. Henry thought that was the funniest shit he'd ever seen in the world.
My God.
He started doing it all day. He's like, "Oh, Dad, it's right over there." So when you guys,
You know what? I'm not even mad because he was the target audience for this movie.
Yes. He was getting a little antsy by the end, but overall, I thought it was very pretty, and he seemed to have fun. It was also his first time eating popcorn, which was cute. But it wasn't as good as the first one. It was fine. It looked pretty. Star Fox was cool. Then I saw, in my tradition of seeing movies based on books that Freeman and Val's book club reads, but I don't read the book and they do before watching the movie, Val had me watch Remarkably Bright Creatures. Freeman, I never heard from you. What did you think of in like a minute or two? Did you like the movie better, the book better? I know we talked about how it's a lot of narration and they handled it how they would handle it. But like, what did you like it?
So this is a controversial topic at book club about whether we do or don't like the movie more. This is the first one we watched where I actually enjoyed the movie more because they made a big narrative change. So Tyler, have you seen this? Are you going to watch it? Are you okay if I talk minor spoilers?
I'm cool if you talk about it. That's fine.
So
I don't care if we talk about spoilers.
So all right. So at the end of the movie is the two characters finding out what their relation is.
Yeah.
In the book, you get a ton more narration from Marcellus, including a midway point where he's going off about like, different species, your offspring are different, but in most of them you can see there's clear patterns or behavior that passes along from parent to child. And he goes, I can't put my finger on it, but something about these two makes them feel like they're family.
That's right.
So
Val told me this.
So from the midpoint, their family, and the whole back half of the book is how are they going to find out? And they take that reveal away from you and save it to the end, and it makes the overall narrative way better. That said, they did change a shit ton from the books that I don't know if I 100% agree on. They definitely made, I'm trying to remember what his name is.
The guy? The boy?
The guy. Oh my God, whatever his name is.
The guy.
He's so much less of a whiny, annoying man-child in the movie. They made him way better in this movie. But they also killed a lot. Like, there was a lot more that went on with Tova and her relationship with the grocery store owner. Like, that whole plotline got neutered for the sake of this movie. But overall, I think as a complete experience, the movie was better than the book. Hot take, maybe. I don't know. It was still enjoyable. I highly recommend the movie to almost everybody.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 4 on Letterboxd or something. I enjoyed it a lot. I said it felt similar to like the slow quietness of Train Dreams, which I definitely prefer. But this was still very good. I enjoyed like you said, it's not even a mystery. It's just I find myself a fan recently of these like smaller scale stories where it's like very people oriented, and this is a very personal story of like, not to sound cheesy, but it's like two people who don't have a lot going for them, and how do you out of nowhere find something that has meaning in your life without even looking for it and just by accident. And it's a good message for people.
Absolutely. I loved it from the book club side of things too, just because we moved away from these like big grand stories or fantasies or romances.
Yeah.
It's just a grounded Midwest story of people living in a town and just
the
finding
vibe
family.
of like, this in the woods.
Is that why you want to read King now?
Oh.
Why I want to read what now?
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Oh,
He's just saying he knows him on a first name basis. It's just King.
Oh yeah, sorry, Mr. That's
Yeah.
Mr. King.
Mr. King.
No, I think we were at book club. I was saying, and this may end up causing a schism with book club, is that I was like, I don't think we should just be reading, romantasy exclusively. To which Fernanda was like, that's what book club is founded on.
Oh,
and then Alexa doubled down with, no, we should use this as a way to like be a little, taster of variety, try different things. Like even this year we did an autobiography for one of them. We are trying to jump around genres and not just do romance entirely. That said, we're reading our second of 3 Allie Hazelwood romance books now, and I want to blow my brains out with this audiobook narration.
But
we'll get to that next month. Oh, I should put the book we did this month at the end of the list here.
But yeah, no, Remarkably Bright Creatures. I enjoyed the movie a bunch, and I do think it's worth watching. I think it was on Netflix, so I would recommend it.
Yeah,
And then
Netflix
this one,
exclusive.
there was a couple throwbacks. We rewatched the first Toy Story for Henry as well. He enjoyed it a fair bit, and I still think Toy Story 1 is a pretty great movie. Not as good as 2 and 3, I'd say, but still a great start. There's a reason 5 is still so big right now. But we watched, for Val's birthday last night, we watched Tangled, because this is her favorite Disney princess movie. Tangled is still really good. It's fun to like know it's, you know, we're just talking about for Remarkably Bright Creatures, Freeman knowing the twist. In the case of Tangled, you know that the mom is the villain the whole time, but obviously Rapunzel doesn't know that.
What? I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's not high art. It's a Disney princess movie, but the songs are good. The characters are good. And there's a reason this is like, I called it in my review, like this is not one of the classics. Like this isn't Snow White. This isn't Cinderella, but this is like one of the good new Disney animation ones. And this movie's 16 years old at this point now.
No, it's not.
Yep.
No, it's not. Don't lie to me.
I go to Letterboxd. It'll tell you. It'll.
I said,
force
yo,
you to
don't lie to
confront
me.
the
I
truth.
said.
You are
I
being
said.
forced against your will to.
I
confront
said.
But no,
Podcast
it was.
stops when I say it stopped.
You know,
right.
Finn is a cool character in that he's like, you know, he's a capable guy. Rapunzel's cool. You know, they had the whole dream number with all the ruffians is fun. Some of the imagery is still great. All the lantern stuff is still really gorgeous. Like, and you know, is emotionally charged. It's good. So, and Henry sat through pretty much all of it. He only got bored a little near the end and was like, "When is the movie over?"
Oh my god.
But
This kid's gonna kill me.
He's getting there. He's getting there. I mean, he was worse during Lion King. But yeah, Tangled, still a good Disney movie. Still one of the better ones, especially compared to some of the stuff that's come out in the last few years from Disney. But pretty good. But I see Freeman added in a nice set of movies.
I've been doing the Disney of Japan, so we've been watching more Studio Ghibli movies. They are doing Ghibli Fest 2026. I'm going to read off real quick the movies that they are doing this year in theaters, because I've been watching the ones that aren't going to be in theaters. They just had Ponyo, My Neighbor Totoro's next week, and the next 5 are Tales of Earthsea, Only Yesterday, Castle in the Sky, Princess Mononoke, and then Spirited Away. So I'm probably going to try and see like the last 3 on that list in theaters. But all the ones that aren't on the list, I'm trying to watch this year. So I watched The Secret World of Arrietty and The Cat Returns. Both of them really good. I know that people weren't really happy with Arrietty, but I enjoyed it overall. Very crazy. For context, it's like these tiny little fairies living in your house. But because they're like playing with and stealing very tiny household appliances, the animation on it was really cool to see, like everything super duper small scale. And The Cat Returns wasn't the greatest Ghibli movie, but I really enjoyed it. If you're a cat lover, this is Cats Central. I am never going to stop referencing Fat Cat, Ronaldo Moon until the day I die. But I don't want to spend too much time on this. We can move on to the one thing that we all definitely watched, which was Witch Hat Atelier, the show we talked about getting a season 2 earlier. Tyler, if I remember correctly, you didn't watch with Michelle like as it was coming out, so you'd already seen it last week when we all watched the finale together, right?
Yeah.
What was your initial thought? Sorry, I'm jumping right into the end. Do you want to talk about the show as a whole, or do you want to just jump into talk about the finale?
Let's talk about the whole thing.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I forget which ad is done by the same studio that did Zom 100, and a shocking twist.
Took a lot longer to be ready.
Yeah, and a shocking twist. They pulled up a really, really good animation with no real delays or anything. This show is how do I put it? It's just a good fantasy show. It's well animated. It's got I don't want to call her a relatable protagonist, just a fun to watch protagonist. The show feels lighthearted while it still has, you know, a sinister plot underneath. I think Kiefer is insane. I love him as a character. The magic system itself is really cool. Sometimes you have shows where magic just feels like bullshit, but the way they do it, where magic is all done by effectively just drawing runes. You're only limited by the creativity.
Master, you might say.
Yeah, they all master these runes.
Master, you might say. Goddamn.
There's even within just the first season, the creativity of what they do with combining what we've already seen from the runes, and just like all you have to do is, you know, if you want your wind blast spell to suck in, you just draw the thing upside down. It's all very intuitive how they rationalize how the magic works. So I like that about the magic system here. No, overall, just very well
And if I
animated.
wanted to suck more, I would.
No, I really, I'm actually curious, Freeman, because you actually gave this a 10 out of 10. You're
Yeah,
talking right
Yes.
now like it's
really.
pretty good, and it's like
Yeah.
you gave it the highest score possible.
Yeah. Um, outside of it being incomplete, there wasn't any glaring flaws where I pointed at. I'm like, I didn't like that. I liked everything I saw. I know, Tim, you and I discussed a particular character where I think you didn't like the implementation of this character type, and I was like,
No.
I've seen it a million times. It's fine.
What,
No,
Keyfree being Keyfree? Or...
no.
You mean Gojo? No,
When
not
we
that.
were,
Yeah, I was like, you mean Gojo?
Actually, we didn't. Before we get into specifics, Tyler, what did you think of the show? Watching it week to week with Michelle.
I liked it. I liked the animation. I think the characters are good. We watched it in dub because we were watching it while we were eating, and I fucking hate everyone's voice. Except for Best Girl. Best Girl, good girl, who must be saved. Why am I forgetting her name? Main
Coco?
character. Yeah, Coco. Yeah, Coco.
You don't
She
like
must be
Kiefer
protected.
the Irish man?
No, Keyfree is great. There's my voice.
I've seen one or two dub clips, and it's always struck me how diverse the voice cast is of like all these different nationalities.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy actually. But yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a choice that they made. But whatever. Overall though, I like the story. I like the pacing of everything. I like the magic system as far as like objective like the story goes. Yeah, it's a good time. It's not like my most favorite thing in the world, but objectively it's like one of those like it is one of those must-sees. Like if you're
Yeah.
into any sort of fantasy, this is a must-see. I would agree.
If you were gonna do it out of 10, Tyler, I know you don't use your mal really, but what would you go for?
If it was out of 10, it'd probably be like a 9.
Okay, that's because a lot of what you're saying lines up with what I'm saying. What I would say, I really like it. I think the magic system is incredible. I think it was gorgeous. Like we didn't talk about it yet, but the OP, as Freeman and I have started memeing every week when we would watch it. Boy, oh boy, that song starts strong when that guitar riff comes in, and then it never lives up to that guitar riff for the entire rest of the song. But the OP is gorgeous. Like this show is so pretty. This is one of those shows kind of like Freeman that makes me love magic. Like magic can be such a cool thing. The only reason this is a 9 for me though is because it for me to give something a 10, it really has to emotionally resonate with me. And while I love the story and the world and I'm really interested in where it's going, I don't feel connected to the characters very much. Which led to, as Freeman memed, the boy from the final exam, Tyler, or the second exam that's ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel messaged us, and Freeman and I were talking about this in the car when we were getting food the other night. She was comparing it to the Chimera from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood of the same emotional level.
Bro,
that and
Edward.
how are you gonna call her the Chimera dog?
I was trying not to.
How are you gonna?
Her name was Nina.
Shut the.
Your name
Oh my God.
is Nina, dude. Yeah, dude. Nah, man. Nah,
I'm not trying
I can't,
to set
I
up
can't
anybody
let this
who.
slide.
I'm not trying to.
I
Set
can't
up
let
anybody
this
for
slide.
damage.
Everybody has.
Rachel hasn't.
Even
Rachel's
people...
watching Full Metal right now.
Nah, she's still a normie. She doesn't count.
God.
You guys will never guess what happens
Anyway.
to Aerith in Final Fantasy VII.
Damn.
Anyway.
It's the same. It's the same level. It's the same as that. Anyway.
I was gonna say, I do not nearly feel that same thing because, as Freeman said, the trope of the person who has zero faith in themselves, but someone else tells them to grow up and find their special, has been done so many times in anime. I was like, I don't give a shit about this kid. Like, but I think also part of the problem is because the show has already done such a good job about making me care about what's going on with the 4 girls and the 2 dads that I don't give a shit about this
The
new boy who
two
showed up in the
dads.
last second.
dads.
Come on, every single thing on the internet, on Instagram, every witch hat content is about the 2 dads and the 4 daughters. Like, that's all.
I know. I just wasn't expecting you to say it.
Yeah, I know. But legitimately, like, I already care about a big chunk of the cast, but you add in Nervous Boy. He was animated pretty. The whole turning into the anti-spiral was cool. But when that happened to him, I was like, I mean, it looks gorgeous. Freeman said the same thing when we were watching it. I distinctly remember, like, wow, that's a gorgeous-ass drawing right there. But emotionally, I'm not like, oh, my God, I'm broken about
Big Brother?
All right, I'm going to walk away for a while. Why don't you guys talk about smoking, Freeman? Why don't you talk about smoking? Witch Hat's
Yeah, so I'll
good.
talk about this
Watch
one.
Witch Hat.
This is a cute show I was looking forward to. It's called Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. The gimmick is this guy, I think he's like pushing 40 or mid 40s. He's an office worker. Life sucks. He just goes out for cigarettes at the grocery store every night when he's working late. And he always loves going to this one checkout lane. There's really nice woman working checkout. I think she's like mid 20s. So there's this whole age gap thing going on. Anyway, he goes around back to try to smoke, and he realizes there's no smoking sign on the street. So he goes behind the supermarket where there isn't a sign and goes to sit down. And he sees another employee of the supermarket who she very much looks like Maki from One Punch Man. She's badass. She's got a leather coat. She's got multiple piercings. She's just sitting there smoking. And he's like, "Hey, can I sit down and smoke with you?"
Tight.
So it's the whole show is, yeah, for real. The whole show is he just sits down there and they just banter with each other. But she'll also like egg him on, like, "Oh, you have a crush on the girl who works the front counter?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And then at the end of the episode, it's super obvious to the viewers the whole time, and they confirm it at the end of the first episode, like, "Oh, the girl he's smoking with behind the supermarket is the girl he has a crush on at the front counter," and she's just messing with him. So this is very much one of those like status quo romances where you want them to get together, but realistically they aren't going to, because the appeal of them just bantering together is what the whole show is about. The weird thing about the show is the release schedule for it. So it's going to be 12 episodes. The first 6 released online, but the first 6 released as 10-minute mini episodes. So it's one of those, like, imagine like American cartoons where you have the part A, commercial break, part B. They release all those as 10-minute episodes on Crunchyroll, and then the full show is going to air in July. So we have the first half out now. I'm slow rolling and watching like 1 episode a week with Liz. I'm enjoying it so far, but it's nothing we haven't already seen with these like status quo relationships. I think the big gimmick is that they're both adults. They're both working people, and they're just smoking all the fucking time. So it's got that cool smoking aesthetic. And I will say we're reaching this renaissance of smoking anime, because next season there's one called, I think it's called the Smoking Cat Boys or some shit. I don't know. Point is, everybody's smoking an anime right now, and it's really cool. They know their aesthetic.
It's really cool. Big Tobacco's on its way back. Like, let's go.
Big Tobacco's like, if we can't do these sick ass Camel commercials in the United States, then we're going to animate something else in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have too much to say about that. I don't know if Tim's gonna be back for the next one, but I will.
I
you're back.
Go anywhere.
Right.
It was just me.
Okay, I'll lead in by saying I haven't finished yet. I still have 2 episodes left. I just watched the episode where the 4th astronaut makes an appearance.
Yep. So after 7 years, Dr. Stone is done. As part of Val's birthday today, we made sure to finally watch the finale that came out on Friday. This show has not been perfect for lots of its runtime. The whole Stone Wars thing was a little rough. Boy, oh boy, this show's ending on a high note, though. I mean, that last season was great. The whole war with Zeno was awesome, and now this whole taking on Y-Man thing has been excellent. Freeman, I am actually so sad that you haven't watched the last 2 episodes, because the amount of revelations that still happen in the show is crazy.
Dude, it's killing me. I'm debating on trying to force my other friend to like temporarily pause some other shows just so we can finish the currently airing stuff. Because like we had the issue that we started watching Hacks again. House of the Dragon came back. Silo's apparently back in like 2 weeks. So we have too much shit that we watch on Mondays to the point that we're falling behind on some anime, and we're not even remotely attempting to catch up. And I really want to, because I've been really enjoying this last third of Science Future. Yeah.
So it ends, I think, pretty good. I mean, the ending. Then there's the epilogue stuff and everything. It's been a ride, and I got pretty emotional near the end of Dr. Stone, because it's been so, there's been nothing like it. Like it is genuinely cool, and Freeman, you can appreciate this. Like literally starting from, and they call back to this sure in the last episode, but like starting from literally nothing to getting to where we are now is
Insane.
such a cool journey that, like, you know, all these other things are like, we built up this whole thing, we used magic, we had all these big fights, but like the technology evolving over time is just such a cool ride that nothing has really been like. You know, like, remember the first time when for the Stone Wars they created gunpowder and they created explosions and like all the tactics and stuff involving that, or against Zeno when suddenly aircraft are involved, like. And then when they're running away, the motorcycle chase across South America, like it's all it sounds almost like talking about JoJo.
It does sound a little bit like Stardust Crusaders when we describe it this way.
But like it has genuinely scaled up. They flash back to it, but I still remember, Freeman. Do you remember when Senku turns on electricity for the first time from the water wheel, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, that's crazy!"
Light at night.
Yeah,
it was,
that
first light when everyone's like, "What the fuck at night?" Yeah,
crazy. And now we're like talking. Now there's people in outer space.
I feel strange saying how long ago that season was.
This last episode, this is not a spoiler, Freeman. It actually tells us how long it's been. 10 years. 10 years from Senku waking up to where we are now is how much time has passed.
And I'm just pissed they didn't have a single character like, okay, they didn't have more than one character age during the 10-year time period.
Only one character has gotten older in 10 years. And that was a 1-year time jump, I think.
Good
out
Lord.
of that 10 years. I will say, Freeman, this is not a spoiler again. There is more science to come even after everything, and it will still blow your fucking mind what the future science is. That is. I mean,
I remember seeing a frame or two from when the final chapter originally dropped, but it's been so long that I don't remember what the fuck I saw. So I'm ready to go in pseudo blind again.
What you see won't tell you anything.
All right.
It's what they say it is.
Okay.
There are people hoping / thinking that maybe there's going to be like an epilogue thing because the chapters don't quite cover all the epilogue. Anyway, I don't want to linger. Dr. Stone, if you haven't started it, I think it's really one of the most unique shows in anime. That doesn't make it perfect, but it makes it such a cool, fun ride that nothing else has felt like out of any of the shows I've watched over the years. So if
they did it in just shy of 100 episodes too.
Yeah. And the progression and everything, like all the characters, there's a huge cast and you remember who everybody is pretty well over the course of the thing. Like, yeah, it's a little like, you know, it's a little
bullshit, but
it's a little bullshit, but also there is nothing that feels like this. Like it's such a real thing. Like when they're doing like the title cards at the end of every episode are revealed by doing a little science experiment, like melting ice or like doing a chemical reaction. And suddenly the letters appear, kind of thing. Like it feels so real and cool. They even talk about how petrification works in the last episode for like 2 sentences. They actually touch on how they think it is like vague, like we're talking literally like 1% explanation, but there's actually a character who says it's related to this real science. And I was like, wait, what did they just say? I turned to Val, I was like, what the fuck is going on? That's crazy. That actually kind of makes sense. So yeah, overall ended good. A little clean of an ending for how long this has been built up, but still fantastic ride. Highly recommend to everybody. Also, speaking of the 2 dads in Witch Hat, Freeman, you have now seen the gayest moment I've ever seen in an anime.
The gayest
based on the episodes you're on, when Stanley wakes up.
Oh.
Don't you remember that?
Yeah, Stanley's pretty gay.
That was Zeno's face was like the most. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh.
This is a normal JoJo episode.
It's serious. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Last but not least, I finally finished a video game that has been Let's Playing on the channel, but I wanted to talk about it. I finished Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I gave a lot of thoughts in the LP. Anybody who's watching this has probably watched the LP, but my general thoughts. this is exactly another this fits perfectly into the era of the 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 B tier Star Wars games that were coming out in those early 2000s, mid 2000s. This has such a cool concept behind it. The story is is interesting. The characters are cool. Seeing Django meet Zam and do contracts and everything, awesome. Very cool in-universe way to do things. The gameplay, though, is where is the side of the coin that this doesn't really work with. Playing Bounty Hunter, like using the jetpack in the moment and flying around is cool, but it feels real stiff with the guns, and doing bounties is not good. I completely gave up on the bounty system by the end of this game. Tyler, have you ever played Bounty Hunter? I keep forgetting.
Nah, it was one of those like, oh, I might one day, and then I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just watch Tim play it when you start doing it.
Gotcha.
I didn't finish watching it though.
It's that's fine. Doing the bounties and like having to switch to your visor, open the visor, go into slow-mo, scan everybody in a room. Okay, there's no bounties. Okay, then kill everybody. Okay, then do the next thing. Like, the flow is just not there, man. And some of those levels are brutal. The prison asteroid, like everybody talked about. Even doing some of the platforming shit on the oh my god, what was the garbage planet? I can't remember. Like it's one of those games where the concept is so cool and the execution is a little rough. Like, I would almost compare it to Republic Commando. In that Republic Commando, the gameplay is awesome moment to moment, but some of the fluff around it and a little bit of the difficulty is a little rough. Length of the game and all that jazz and complexity. But like, Republic Commando is a much better basic gameplay than Bounty Hunter does. Like, shooting and flying feels cool, but then the auto lock on isn't that good. Also, the last two boss fights, Jesus, they are just bullet sponges. Tyler, if you do watch, or if you watch like some of the last 2 episodes, I fight the last 2 bosses, and it's just, how do I cheese this boss? How do I hide in a corner and just take pot shots? How do I like run away and shoot while running backwards and mashing the trigger way faster than the auto fire goes? How do I use all these items to like kind of cheese some damage? I'm also getting bullshit hits. Like I'm dying unnecessarily. It just, the gameplay itself is what lets down Bounty Hunter, but it is a great idea, and I wish it had. It makes me almost wish that 1313 had come out. Because 1313 was supposed to be like a Bounty Hunter-esque game. And I think a modern take of this idea could be so cool. But this one just, it's worth playing if you like the old Star Wars history, but just go in recognizing that the gameplay will be kind of rough and you will be bullshit a lot of the time.
Yeah, it was the stuff I was like looking at seemed super cheap, and the gameplay loop of like needing to stop and scan everybody is really lame. Like, I wish there was some quality of life. Like, say it were to ever be like remade, it'd be cool. It's like if you gloss over your like gloss over the target with your reticle or something like that, like their face will pop up or something like that with like something saying like, oh yeah, this is who you're looking for, like arrest this guy. Like, I think it would be way better.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, cool ideas, cool concept, just execution's a little rough, but it's a piece of Star Wars history, and that's not going to change. And the port was pretty okay. I didn't really have any problems with the port on PC, because I know this was a PS2 game for a long, long time. I thought I'd have to get a PS2 to play this, but the Steam port's fine. Works fine with the Xbox controller, had no issues, so.
Nice.
But that's all my stuff. You guys got the rest.
I would say the graphics are way better than I expect from a game from 2002.
They're fine at a distance. When the cutscenes happen, the models get pretty rough.
Yeah, I just clicked on your last episode. I'm on the close up of Count Dooku, and I'm like, oh boy, this texture.
It is hard to tell that is Dooku sometimes.
Oh boy.
Who watched The Big Bear?
Oh, The Bear. Yeah, the show. Let's talk about another show that's over. The Bear is over. It got 5 seasons. Though the last
5 seasons.
It got 5 seasons in a span of 3 years. it got 5 seasons. It was really strange.
Dang.
Um, yeah, I thought it was good though. The last episode, or sorry, last season was really strange. That it was the whole season supposed to take place over the course of a day, like fucking 24.
Boy.
Yeah, it was weird. The pacing was weird, but the last 2 or 3 episodes really made it count. I think the first couple episodes were basically there just to set up, just to really deliver on those last couple of episodes. Um, and I really like this show. I was unsure after the last season. The last season was very upbeat, which is good. Like I liked that, but how it was structured was like okay, like some of these things were rehashing, and even this last season, it's like, all right, we went over this. We don't need to go over this again, or like, why are we generating a new thing now? Like, I just want to see them perform, and that's what they kind of did. Like, in my opinion, people could say I'm wrong, but the first couple episodes just felt like a throwaway. I would have rather them spent like 30 minutes, be like, hey, this is the setup, this is what we're gonna do, or I would have been fine with a movie. Like, this probably could have been a movie. Like, the last 2 episodes were like an hour and like an hour. I think the second to last episode was an hour, and the last episode was like an hour 15. Uh, but yeah, it's really good. The whole show is really good. If you like depressing things
Oh boy.
with an extremely nice payoff at the end, like this is it. It's got all the good stuff in it.
Yeah, it's been sitting on my list since season one, just 'cause how much everyone loved it when it was the first airing.
Yeah, there is one thing I didn't like. Like every character had extremely good arcs. Uh, I'm unsure how I feel about the main character though. Um, but I feel like I'm gonna have to sit on it because I just finished it today. But I feel like I'm gonna have to digest it. It's one of those like character endings where anything could have happened, and it's like left up to you, the viewer, how you want to feel about it or what you think they did. But yeah, I don't know. It was good though. I liked it.
Nice.
I
I've
also
heard a lot about
liked,
it.
yeah. I think Freeman, you might like it. It's definitely good. I think you and your other friend group could possibly get into this. Unless I don't know how they feel about depressing things.
It's not depressing. I think it was I pitched it and it got vetoed because one member of that watch group used to work at a very stressful restaurant and they don't want to remember it.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, your loss. I'll
You
watch it
know,
separately then.
it really is like that. Uh, yeah, maybe it's not for them, but you can tell them if it gives them PTSD that much, then maybe not. But it has a happy ending. It ends very extremely positive.
Okay. It's odd because the same group wanted me to watch The Pit, and I was like, I can't take the stress of just one episode of this.
Dude, let me tell you about the pit real
Oh
quick.
boy.
Bro, my friends and I brag, like, we don't watch that show, but like one of my friends does. And like they had some cybersecurity incident, and like they can't, like, yo bro, you gotta watch this. And like we were just all rolling our fucking eyes. We're like, never in a million years would this work. Basically, it was like an episode where it was a recent episode this season where like uh an information security breach happened at a completely different hospital. Some other hospital got ransomware or something like that, and it caused the pit to shut down, and everything came on screen like it was ransomware when that's not what happened. And that's not how, like, any sort of security breach would be handled. Like if an incident happened, that's not how it would happen. But apparently they have like all these, hotel staff on retainer that they use as like expert witnesses and like all that shit. And I'm like, what a fucking joke. Sorry, I had to pop off. It's really funny to see. But yeah, some good things though.
Double
The
good things
internet
here.
meme double feature between
Yeah.
Obsession and Backrooms.
Oh right, you guys saw both of these.
Yeah, this was the
Yeah.
Barbenheimer of horror movies.
It really was. I like Backrooms. I think you liked it slightly more than I did, but I still
Yeah.
enjoyed it though.
Because I think it was, we talked about this, that so listeners, they do still keep a little bit of that found footage appeal of the original YouTube series. There's a part where they go in the back rooms, he has a camera, and then for like a good 10-15 minutes the whole thing is just shot from the perspective of the camera they're holding around, and I loved it. But pretty much everything after that point just kind of fell off. Like the lead up to the mystery is super great, and then once they start trying to explain it, I mentally checked out.
Yeah, the lead up was really good. I liked it. I do like the symbolism and all the other stuff. I also like Tim. We were in the parking lot and we were talking about this movie, and let me tell you, I convinced myself I was living in the back rooms.
Yep. Oh no.
Bro, I tell you what, man. I was like, damn. I was like, is this how it feels like for movie snobs to like look at some bullshit and be like, this is absolute cinema? Like, fuck me.
Damn.
I resonate with this this picture on a napkin super well.
I will say I'm curious what someone who had zero context of what the backrooms even were, just going to the movie blind, what they'd think about it. Because like I was obviously had a preformed opinion about the backrooms as a concept are super cool. I can't wait to just see it in a full length movie. But
Yeah. You know what? I don't know anybody recently. No, we should make Tim watch it.
Oh boy.
I'd be
You
down
don't know
for a
you don't know
rewatch.
what we're talking about, do you?
Nope.
Yeah, see, we gotta
Oh
see
boy!
it.
All right, cool. You'll be our litmus test. We treat you the same way that book club treats you with our movies.
Yeah.
The going in blind perspective.
See, it's almost kind of different too, because like when we go, like if I go, like the last couple horror movies we've seen, it was like me, you, and Liz, and me and Liz are like fucking numb to everything. But then watching you, I'm like, oh,
You guys are like
this is
giggling,
it.
and I'm like covering my face, like jumping at the lightest sound.
Yeah. See, now we can do the same thing, but with Tim though, where it's like, hi, you get the meme, and Tim's gonna be like, what the fuck, you guys are crazy. What is it? This is just yellow. Liminal spaces. What the fuck?
What is this?
Who
I don't
cares?
get it. It's just carpeting. What are you so afraid of?
It's just carpeting. The other one I was more surprised. I honestly think I enjoyed this movie a lot.
I loved Obsession.
I'm still confused why it's like such like I feel like it's almost overhyped.
Honestly, it is. I don't know why this happened. So I do have an account on Threads just because every other time on another meta app, it's like, hey, go look at this meme. It's on Threads. Oh, you need an account. So I have one. Occasionally I'll click on it. And because I've clicked on like one Obsession meme, it thinks I'm zoned into this topic and won't stop sending me threads about Obsession discussions. And it almost pisses me off how much people still want to talk about this movie.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Like it's a good movie. It does not warrant the hype and ongoing conversation that this movie still has.
No, this movie is not that deep either.
No, it's not. It's like honestly, the thing that carried this movie for me is just like the actress who plays Nikki acted this movie so fucking good. She stole the movie. She's the entire reason it was like as entertaining as it was.
Yep, it's good. I think everybody did a good job, but she next level.
She sold it.
For sure. Yeah, I don't think you would like this, Tim.
Damn.
The back rooms is interesting from like an internet like meme historical thing, if you even want to call it that. Like Obsession is like is for the horror fans.
Yeah, like Backrooms, most of the horror comes from the atmosphere. There's not really any there's nothing really graphic on screen or anything, whereas like Obsession does get pretty graphic.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Reasonably graphic.
Reasonably graphic.
Look, I hate like graphic, gory horror. So this was doable, It wasn't extreme by any means, but it was still decently up there. Like if you're squeamish, to probably don't watch this movie.
Gotcha.
The real horror was the incel the entire time or something. Male loneliness, if people keep saying for some reason. I don't fucking know. It's fucking stupid. I think people are interpreting it and delving way too deep into something that's not that serious.
It's a way too much meaning around the if I could make a wish.
That being said, I did give it a 4 and a like. Like I said, I do really like this movie, but it is a simple concept. It's like the I think I've seen this compared to the movie Talk to Me, which I think if you did like that, it's very much like Talk to Me. I like that movie more though. Objectively, I gave it a lower score because I don't think it's as a tight of a story with its pacing as Obsession, but I liked it more though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's also a literal almost monkey paw movie, except she's not, the main character isn't making a wish, but she is doing something that she knows she probably shouldn't be doing and keeps doing it anyway because she wants to do it. Like it's Obsession.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Prince of Egypt.
Classic.
This is a segue.
Greatest animated Jewish lore movie.
Dude, it's so good. My wife doesn't like it because it's too religious.
Big sad.
I was kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna front. I was like, yo, but like the music though, yeah, but like, just look how ridiculous it is. I'm like, okay. Take the G-Man out of this, all right? Forget that this is even a Bible. Grant, she didn't even know the story. I was like, so you're hating on this? You don't even know the story. You don't even know about the burning bush or anything like that. She was like, no.
Ooh.
I was like, so you're going in blind and you think this is garbage? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I hate it.
That.
What is this? I was so upset. Because I think then it rolled into like criticizing the story for what it is, and whatever. I think it was like, I forget what she said specifically else about it. Like, killing the first. Oh, you know what? This is actually kind of legitimate criticism, and it does open up talks. I think like an interesting conversation about optics, right? Because it's like, oh, it could be argued, and I think I even said this in my Letterboxd review, right? Like stuff like Prince of Egypt, it could be almost said that Moses was doing some fucky shit. And yes, I am treading into some pretty crazy waters right now.
Yeah, be very careful what you say next, Tyler.
Right, dude. But I'm just, because like if you look at it, it's like, oh wow, like sure, in the name of freeing your people, we just got out here ace everybody. Which is like, you know what? I can see that. I can understand tit for tat and survival, right? But then, like, Michelle brought up a good point. It was like, oh, having Moses not reflect the sheer guilt over what he did, because not only did he like essentially kill a bunch of people, right? He did it in God's name, or at least God said he did it through him, but he still killed all those people. Mm-hmm. And not only did he kill those people, he essentially killed his family. Spoilers for those of you who don't know this story, thousands of years old.
Whoa! I don't know if that story is old enough for us to have spoilers.
Yeah, right. I know what happens to Aerith in Final Fantasy. But that's a criticism on the Bible story. But that's whatever. I do wish no, this is a criticism on the movie. I do wish there was a little bit more, like, because he has some guilt, right? After everything's said and done, he has some guilt. Yeah. And he like kind of feels it, and then immediately we're into like, okay, everybody's happy, we're getting the fuck out of here. And I'm like, damn. Yep. So I think it's that kind of glossing over. I'm like, okay, I could see some points away from that. But like as a contained story though, mm-hmm. from beginning to end, I think it's framed and done extremely well. the animation, the singing, the voice
The
acting, like
animation's so good for 1998.
Yeah.
it's so good. Like it's honestly one of DreamWorks like best things that they have ever put out, hands down. Um, and guess what? I'm gonna watch it. And if we have kids, hopefully, I'm gonna show them to anyway and be like, "Yo, I don't believe in this fantasy, but I love this. This is great." It's funny though too, right? Because Michelle never saw it, and she doesn't know the story. I was like, "Oh, so you don't know what happens after this, do you?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, you don't know the whole like wandering the desert for 40 days and nights. None of that." She's like, "Nope." I'm like, "Damn, David and Goliath. None of that. You don't know any of that." Nope.
I'm looking at the first 5 DreamWorks movies. I'm gonna throw out Joseph King of Dreams, which they did as a direct to video.
DVD. I didn't even know that existed.
So throwing out that movie, their first 5 are Ants, Prince of Egypt, Road to El Dorado, Chicken Run, and Shrek.
Wow.
Absolutely wild opening 5.
Yeah.
Wild opening. Honestly, I only a few of those are good. I think Chicken Run was mid. El Dorado, also a legendary pull. I don't even need to talk about Shrek.
No.
I don't even
goat.
have to.
The donkey himself.
Donkey himself. I think that is one of the few movies that I can legitimately quote from start to finish. I'm not proud of that. I think Leslie actually walked in on me watching that movie and just like
Understood.
quoting it. She's like, "You have a problem?" I'm like, "Yep." It's that and Resident Evil 4. Crazy pulls. Anyway, oh yeah. I can make it, since I spoke too much on Prince of Egypt, I think.
Well, I actually want to hear about Amadeus, because I still haven't seen it. I've always wanted to watch this movie. What'd you think of it?
I love this movie. It's weird. I don't even know why. I think it was like I was scrolling through movies and then, like I'm trying to blow through my watch list. I was like, I should actually go through my watch list. And I kept like scrolling through like different other lists and seeing Amadeus as like one of those really good movies. And I'm like, yeah, but no one talks about it. Like no one I know or I can remember saw it, but I saw you saw it, Tim. I was like, oh, it has F. Abraham Murray in it. I love that guy. And he plays Salieri. Okay, let's watch it. And I was blown the fuck away. Like, I already liked the music. And I'd be like, oh well, it'd be a crime if they didn't play anything, but they played like as much as they could. More than I thought they would. But the reason why I liked it so much, aside from the acting and like all of those things that what make a movie good to me, is the elevated like what it feels to be like even though I'm not an accomplished musician or anything like that.
What?
I used to play music, yeah, right. But the movie and how they conveyed like how Salieri and Mozart view music, and how like even without playing the music, them just like talking or like looking at it or like going through the motions, like they're able to understand, and it makes them interpret the music differently, let's say a normal person would. And then by the end of the movie, they're able to communicate with each other on a completely different level. And it kind of like does a really good job at having you, the viewer, interpret it as such. And it almost makes you feel like, oh, I'm an expert at music too, or something like that. I don't know. It was definitely like a weirdly surreal experience that I had. And what makes this even give it more points, I watched this in 2 separate settings. I wasn't able to finish the movie all in one shot just because I had some other shit going on. But like, I got like halfway through, I stopped for a second, I came back to it, and I remembered everything that was going on, and I still enjoyed it, and I was still pretty enthralled with it. And then I was like, damn, and I thought about it for a while. I was like, does this deserve a 5? Does this deserve a coveted 5 from me? And I was like, I think it does.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't give out 5s
No.
very often or ever these days, and that's like the first one I've given out in a while. I kind of want to look back and see out of all the movies I've rated on Letterboxd. I'm not gonna go over it now, but it makes me wonder now. But yeah,
I think we've done that before, and your count is pretty low.
yeah.
You have, according to Letterboxd, you have 24 5-stars.
Oh shit. Yeah, I need to look at them. Dune, yeah, Dune, Spider-Verse.
All right, we should.
Yeah, some of these don't deserve a 5, but you know.
Wow. I was gonna say we should focus on. You guys still have 6 more items on the list.
I can go super fast for these
6
ones.
minutes.
Oh, yeah,
from
these
2
are all.
hours.
Yeah, so I'll go in reverse chronological order. The ones I watched most recently first. So last weekend I watched This Is Spinal Tap for the first time. I low key wish I didn't know that this was a parody and went in thinking it was real because, goddamn, the first bit seemed like this could have been a real music documentary until they start bullshitting about all the group members that have died and half of them can't keep a straight face while laughing about their names. Overall, really enjoyed it. I was laughing up a storm for the entire thing. Didn't they go and they made like is it a second one or is it a look back on This Spinal Tap they just put out?
I forget. It's like I thought there was like Spinal Tap the movie, like the band, the movie, the show, or something crazy like that. I forget.
I forgot. Yeah.
Either way, I'm curious about what they did after this. I do think it was crazy though that all the music they did for this movie, because like I ended up listening to half the soundtrack on Spotify on the drive home afterwards. So overall, really enjoyed it. It was super funny. I don't think I left a long review. I think I just left a meme review for that one. And then here's the meme of a movie watching experience. So there's this trilogy of movies called the Before Trilogy: Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and I think Before Midnight is the last one. And the Before Sunrise, the first one, came free to YouTube because I think it was like the movie takes place like May 16th, so that it came out on YouTube for free May 16th. So Liz like, we should watch this. So I start punching it. I type Before Sun, and I'm like, oh, there it is. And I click on the first movie I find. I did not click on Before Sunrise, the first movie in the trilogy. I clicked on Before Sunset, the second movie in the trilogy.
Oh my god.
And we watched it, and we're like, this is an odd movie where they seem to be alluding to something that happened before, but like maybe this is the setup of the movie. So we go into this movie about this couple that reunites. They had briefly met 9 years ago, and they were supposed to reunite 5 years ago, but neither of them showed up to it. And the main guy, he has to catch a flight in an hour and a half, and he's like, do you have an hour and a half to just walk around and talk? And she said, sure. And then from this point on, the movie is shot entirely in real time. It's just following this couple having this conversation, reminiscing about their past, where they are now, where they want to go in the future, as they just wander around Paris. And it's a ton of long shots. So in terms of how this movie was filmed, I loved it. I was blown away because we're 40 minutes in. I'm like, hold up, has this just been a singular conversation? Like they've sat down, they've taken their food order, they keep talking, their food is served, they're eating, they're talking, they get coffee, and they leave. And I'm like, there wasn't a break. Like they do change camera angles during some of these conversations, but anytime they're walking somewhere, it's just a single rolling shot with the camera maintaining pace with them. So I was very impressed by the second movie. But to not kill the momentum, we went back and watched the first movie like a day or two later. And the first one is just about this chance meeting of two travelers in their early 20s. And this one, it takes place over the course of a night. So it's not the same idea. A lot of it is just kind of like in the evening for long stretches. Like they'll just like a 20-minute conversation at times in this movie. So I feel like 2 definitely felt like a natural evolution of 1. I loved the second movie, even though I had this weird way of watching it. But you almost don't really need to watch the first one. The first one is just 2 travelers meet for a day, and then they say they want to make something more of it. They'll meet up again, and they just don't. And then everything you need to know about the first movie, they tell you in the second movie. So it was a very strange watching experience. All in all, I gave the second one a 5-star. I love this movie. I would rewatch it knowing now that it's just all a continuous real-time conversation between 2 people.
Wow.
So very strange that I enjoyed it as much as I did, given the circumstances. Now I want to watch the third one, and then I did a little bit of research. They're not going to make a 4th one. The first 3 were all... They came out 9 years apart, and they followed the characters as they had aged up 9 years. And I think it's interesting to look at the same characters at completely different stages in their life, just running into these other characters again.
Yeah.
So
I
definitely
was
recommend.
interested in checking it out after you and Liz gave it a higher review. I was like, oh, fuck it.
Give it a shot. I will say though, just know that I like 2 way more than 1, which is I feel like I never say this about movies. But the next one I watched was on the list of movies about Jewish people that Liz says I should watch. So we watched this movie called Shiva Baby. Short version is this girl goes to NYU, but she's kind of doing this whole sugar daddy situation. And she goes with her family to a Shiva of someone from their community. She doesn't want to be there. And the whole movie takes place at this one Shiva. If anyone doesn't know what a Shiva is, when a Jewish person dies, it's kind of like a wake, but not really. They hold it at the home of the deceased because the family is supposed to stay at home sitting and praying. So everyone else brings over food, and it's almost like a party where you're trying to keep everyone, upbeat. But at the same time, you realize you're there because of a death. And unfortunately, with Jewish communities, there's just a lot of gossip and yenting at these things. So this was very accurate to every Shiva I've ever been to, where it's just suddenly you're running into people in the community you haven't seen like 10, 15 years. Everyone's gossiping like, oh, did you see Bobby? He's a lawyer now. Like this kind of shit. And the whole movie was just so stressful. It was so claustrophobic because it's shot in this like one living room with really close camera angles. It was a weird watch experience. And I jokingly went home and was like, I told my parents, like, oh, I saw this weird movie called Shiva Baby. And my dad's like, oh, I watched it on a plane. I'm like, what'd you think of it? And he's like, stressful movie, but pretty accurate. So he had the same opinion I did about this. But overall, weird watch experience for if you've ever been to one. And then I'll keep speeding this up. I watched Mandalorian. I keep calling it Mando versus Grogu. Mandalorian and Grogu. I saw it in theaters.
Versus Grogu.
I don't have anything to say that has been said all over the internet. This feels like they just ripped out 4 episodes of the next season and packaged it together as a movie. It is exactly what it says on the box, which is fine. I was just hoping for more out of it. If you're really clamoring, if you're really clamoring for more Mando content, go watch it. It's exactly what you're asking for. But that's the problem. It's exactly what you asked for. And then the last movie on here, one I've been dying to watch for a while, Goodfellas.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
Is it
Jersey
good?
staple, baby.
Is it good to finally understand some of these jokes I've known for years and not known the origin of? What do you mean funny? Like haha funny? Like
I was about to pull out that one. Like, am I a fucking joke to you?
That or the scene where they just murk him at the end and the music's playing. Like now I'm like, oh, now I get why this song is. It's fun. I'm really enjoying going through all the classic cinema that I haven't had a chance to watch. So I'm loving it. I want to get through more of the like classic monster movies. Like I still haven't seen Scarface. I want to see that. But Goodfellas is one that I was always looking forward to. I am kind of upset that they didn't use the original title, The Wise Guys, because it would have made way more sense with how the story plays out. And I realize that's the name of the book, but overall,
If you're trying to go through mob movies, I'll do it.
Oh hell yeah, good. Because I need an excuse to get through some of these.
I have not watched a mob movie in a long time.
Good, because it was when I was in the sling. I watched The Godfather, but I never watched Godfather Part 2, and I still want to get around to that.
Oh my god.
No, but it's a long one.
One is really good. Like it is a staple of cinema, but Part 2 is, I think, objectively just the better movie.
Yeah,
that's what I hear. That's why I want to sit down and watch it. So
it's
all right, let's see if we
5+, and then way down. No, we'll talk about 3.
Yeah.
I can't even.
It's funny you mentioned Crime Freeman because I know we started watching TNG that one time.
Yeah.
Val also brought up potentially wanting me and her to watch The Sopranos, which neither of us have ever watched. So
you wait, what?
Okay, let's just keep moving.
I haven't seen it yet either, but I'm gonna watch it soon.
All right, you know what? No. We got to talk about this afterwards.
Because we were too young when it came out. I was too young.
My parents were too strict about what I could see. That's why I didn't watch it.
I'm going to tell you both right now. Save both of you the trouble. Maybe not Freeman, but you and Val don't watch it. You guys will not like it.
Why? I see clips all the time on YouTube. But YouTube seems to think I would love this show.
You won't. I'm telling you. You know what? Maybe you will, Tim, because like there are themes of fatherhood and stuff like that. Maybe it is an extremely slow show with like not a lot of things going on ever. It moves at a slow pace.
Oh, you just gotta enjoy it for the characters, right?
You enjoy it for the character, like.
Oh, just Tony Soprano.
It's really just like you're really just watching the show for Tony and Tony's journey. And even that is like heavy quotes journey. Honestly, crazy enough. If you want something similar, watch Mad Men. I think it is slightly more interesting, and it's made by the guy who was one of the showrunners for The Sopranos.
Is another one I want to watch also because Christina Hendricks showed up in the last episode of Hacks I watched, and I was reminded of the show.
Yes, I would also like to watch the classic HBO shows that I was too young to watch when they were coming out.
She is a smoke show. Actually, this aired on AMC though. What's it called? That Mad Men did. But see, like, if you like, I guess if you like mob stuff, Sopranos is like one of those things. But I don't think it's like that great. I honestly think Sopranos in some ways is overhyped, and just like a lot of mob things, people interpret it in a completely different way than what it was originally meant to be interpreted as. Sometimes. Sure. Like, people look at, like, you see memes all the time of Tony Soprano doing Tony Soprano things. It's like, nah, man, Tony Soprano is depressed. Tony Soprano...
Yeah, he goes to therapy.
And, like, deep down, probably never wanted to be a mobster in the first place.
Yeah, it's great.
But he has to be, because of toxic masculinity or whatever.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, in some ways it is.
I've seen clips. I mean, I'm down to watch a slow burn. I was just talking about how I'm interested in movies that are a slower burn these days.
Yeah, but the whole show. And then the ending. Like, the ending, I've never heard of a more divisive ending, like, before Game of Thrones.
When you say divisive, do you mean good or, like, it was bad?
No, as in, like, people were very divided, as in, like,
Freeman,
you had people...
again.
Freeman, yeah, I'm echoing, you're echoing. As in divisive, like, people thought it was good, people thought it was the worst fucking ending ever.
Who thought Game of Thrones ending was good?
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, it's the difference. Like, divisive being, like, people thought very differently. Like, people as a whole can't make up their mind on the Sopranos ending.
No, that's fine. Right? I'm saying you're comparing it to Game of Thrones, but I mean, like, yes. Everybody fucking hated Game of Thrones' ending. I don't think anybody liked it.
Yeah, well, I guess as far as endings to a show goes, like, it was between, like, Lost, The Sopranos, and, like, something else. Like, people were just, like, not really happy about.
Well, like, Seinfeld is historically one of the worst fucking endings ever of a show ever.
Yeah.
Were you about to try?
I was gonna say I don't hate it.
About to defend your community like this?
No, I was just saying I don't hate it as much as everyone else does, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it's good. It's really not that good. But at the same time, it's like, how do you end a story with no plot line?
Which is fair. Someone even, or nope, not gonna say it.
What?
Nope.
What?
You can say
I can't say it.
You can
I can't say anything because
yes,
nope. Has to do with The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
In case you guys ever want to watch it.
I mean, the problem is when it was airing, I was in the room with my grandparents who were watching the finale, and I mean, like, it's not a spoiler with the cut to black at the end, but like, my grandparents immediately screamed at me to go fix the TV, so I spent the blackout section of the last episode behind the TV checking the cables before it just continued. And then they're like, "What'd you do?" I'm like, "I didn't do anything." So that's my memory of The Sopranos.
Amazing.
Yo, but you guys are gonna watch Sopranos, but not gay vampires. I'm pissed.
Tyler, she brought it up as an idea. We also got a copy of that show from Jim so that Val could watch it.
I'm gonna destroy it. Next time I come over, I'm destroying it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put gay vampires on the TV. Okay. I don't care if Henry's there.
Okay.
All right,
I just wanted to watch it.
Tyler, she was spending a lot of time at Barnes & Noble today on her birthday. She was spending a lot of time looking at Brandon Sanderson. She's like, Tyler always yells at me and says it's not intimidating, but look at this wall of books. How could it not be intimidating?
Look, I honestly, this week, we got so many Brandon Sanderson memes that I sat here and said, all right, well, how big is this one book I want to read?
No. All right, listen.
Here we go.
Listen.
I knew
45-hour audiobooks.
Bro, I got the guide.
Audiobooks.
I got the guide. You don't got to start with Stormlight, dude. You do not have to start with Stormlight.
But at some point, I'd want to get through that. Isn't that like that's the one to read?
Yes, that is the one to read. But by the time you work yourself up there, right? I was gonna say something heinous, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'll save it. I'll save it for afterwards. But like,
All right.
yeah, like there are ones like it. I will admit, yes, it is pretty intimidating. But like, there are books that are recommended for people who want to get into it and start, and they don't want to start with Stormlight. Like I'll tell you what, I didn't start with Stormlight. I also thought Stormlight was like very intimidating. I think Stormlight was like the third book I read. I think I read Elantris first, and then I read Warbreaker. Yeah, I want to say
Let me see the frame of reference here. What was the first one you just said?
Elantris, which Elantris was his first standalone book as an author. In case you guys didn't know or remember, and for those of you at home, Brandon Sanderson finished the Wheel of Time books after Robert Jordan passed. And Elantris was the first book that he wrote as like his own author, right? I wasn't the biggest fan of that book. I think it's a pretty weak book. I usually tell people to start off on Warbreaker. Michelle is iffy on this one, but I also recommend Tress. Oh, because Tress is a very different writing style. That's why.
There's 80% off right now.
Warbreaker?
On Audible, yeah.
Actually, yeah, so if you want to do that, that is also cool. But for those of you at home, if you want to read Warbreaker, Warbreaker is free on dragonsteel.com.
Ooh.
If you want to just read it.
Oh, Warbreaker has a 3-part graphic audio adaptation?
Yes, it does.
Oh, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, Warbreaker, I like Warbreaker. It's really cool. It's a self-contained story. You don't have to like do anything crazy with that afterwards. Once you're done with that story, that's it. It's over. And if you want to keep going, you could do things like there's a trilogy, the Mistborn. There you go. You can read Mistborn.
I just can't get over the Wave Kings being a 45-hour audiobook.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I read that, so one day I finally caved. I don't know if you remember my story, but I was like working security, and I spent literally 6 hours of my day just walking or watching the cameras. I didn't need anything audio, so while watching the cameras, it's not audio. So I'm like, oh, I'll just listen to this, and I listened to it, Tim, after trying to figure out what to listen to after Dresden Files.
Oh.
I listened to the entirety of the Dresden Files first before I decided to start it. Yeah, dude, James Marsden, fucking Spike from Buffy, and like he does Dresden so good.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, if you ever want to get into it, I recommend those. Or if you want me to have a watch guide, listeners, if you even give a shit about this, you probably don't even care. Most of you haven't even made it this far. But if you want to know where to start, there are places online, or you can comment, and I will comment in turn. It's not that intimidating, or it doesn't have to be.
It's more just finding when I'm going to do this, because
it's a lot of books.
And
yo, I don't want to hear it.
Some of us are trying to read 100 books in a year, Tyler. So we can't be reading these massive books.
I'm gonna blow my brains out. I can't.
Tyler, how is she supposed to read a book every day or two?
My brains out. I can't. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. I almost lost it the other day.
Tyler,
I almost lost it.
She was going through the romance section at the front of the store, and she's like, read that one, read that one, read that one, read that one, own that one, read that one, read that one.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna throw myself off a mountain to do it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna do it. I can't.
Is there any?
Anyway,
what's this last movie?
Yeah. Last thing. It's not a movie. It's a book. It's a book that your wife read, Tim, because it was the book club book for the month.
Yeah.
We read Atmosphere, a Good Morning America book club book. I went into this knowing it was a book about space. It's about NASA at the beginning of the space shuttle program. What I would have known if I read the inside cover, which I didn't, because it was in the audiobook, is this is more about being in a lesbian relationship in NASA when it was not cool to be gay. kind of topical. We read it for the Pride Month book, but overall, it was pretty good. I think it was very, like, if you had to find a split, it was 40% about having a relationship you'd be shamed about, 30% about being an astronaut, 30% about having a shitty sister needing you to adopt their daughter. That was the actual breakdown of the structure of this book, and I was not expecting 70% of it to not be about space travel. And also a lot of it was very surface level. Like as a kid, I went to not like the legit space camp. I went to a space camp as a kid, and I learned everything that this book tries to teach you when I was in the 3rd grade. So I did not get as much out of this book as everyone else from book club did. It was still pretty good overall. I think I only ended up giving it 3 stars. I wish Goodreads let us do half stars. So I probably would have given it a 3.5 if I could. But overall, not terrible. But I didn't love it as much as I had some of our previous book club books.
Gotcha.
But that's that. I don't want to drag us on any longer.
With that, let's stop. 2 hours, 15 minutes. We can do it. All right.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of stuff. Hopefully it's not another month and a half between podcast episodes, but who knows? We're in the summer. Holidays are happening. Stuff's happening. So we'll be going for now, but thanks everyone so much for listening. For those of you who stuck it out this whole time and missed and been here for these very infrequent episodes, but thank you very much. Until next time, though, my name is Timpedia. Freeman, hello?
Do it again. Did it not? I hate this microphone.
I
said,
didn't hear you.
I'm Friedman.
No. Let's take her on the top. Take her on top. Tim.
My name's Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
I thought it was going to do it again. It cut out for a quarter second in the middle.
I know. I took a deep inhale until I saw the Discord light go green. I'm like, I can't stand this. I can't stand that it does it at the end of the episode every time.
Tyler.
Thanks for listening, everybody.